management always wants to micromanage the phone call. Yeah, but can you talk like a can they at least allow you to talk like a human? Because whoever I was talking to wasn't the top tier of the tech tree, which was fine. It was just really dumb. Like it was literally like really dumb. The conversation, in my opinion, was awful. But it all started. So the only reason why I got kind of peeved at the guy was because, like I said, he did a speed test. And the speed test, he's like, you have 953 and 953. I'm like, I have what now? I don't. That is not possible. Like, that's just not possible. I'm sorry. I closed my music player. Alright, hold on a second. I don't have music. Hey, Cod Man. Thank you for the raid, by the way. I hope you had a good stream. Oh, that is not a... That's not an attack anymore. Okay, I need to remember how to play this job. 305... Well, you were here when we disconnected like a million times. I'm gonna be keeping you on your toes, Wallen. We're gonna keep you on your toes, alright? Because the amount of times I'll probably disconnect is insane. Worked in a call center for a few years. Thankfully, right after the crackdown on micromanaging enforced scripts. At least where I worked, they encouraged to read the scripts, but better agents just ignored it. Good. I'd rather be talked to by a human than a list of things, because otherwise you're literally just wasting people's time. You know what I mean? And I've talked to good people in customer service. Like, it's not to say obviously the entire company's bad. It's obviously the person that you're talking to, but still. Yeah, I'll say... we'll see what the status is today. If I disconnect like 3 more times during stream, I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. Because I'm thinking about trying to get the tech in Thursday. In the hopes that maybe it recovers itself and maybe they notice something's going on. But, of course, that hope is pretty low. I mean, this has been bad since Saturday. And it hasn't recovered, and that's the problem. Because this should be now easy for them to see, and then yet again, they're still not seeing it. So, I'll see about what happens with that right now. Hey, Guardios, how you doing? I'm just kind of hoping it resolves itself. Maybe someone else complains, you know? Because yesterday I was trying to upload my Ovis Loop playthrough, and the upload was still bad. And I'm like, okay, that's a little bad. Henceforth, that's why I tried to call them today. Maybe I get some progress with them, and yeah, per usual, I didn't get any progress with them. Oh yeah, and then the other thing they told me, so I asked, so after I was getting, like, my patience was basically just ran out. I'm done with this. Like, I didn't want to just abruptly end the call, because I felt like that was rude, and maybe I should have been rude. But one of the questions I asked, they go, can you check if I have fiber available in my area? Because I called, I think some of you were here when I talked about the fact that the guy that I talked to said, it's, like, okay, the guy that I talked to, like, a couple weeks ago, they were like, it's about 110 feet away from you, but it's not connected. I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair. At least you gave me some precise numbers. So I asked the guy today to see, you know, the guy I was talking to, and just basically says, no, it's not yet available. Fine, that's the answer I was expecting to get. And he's like, well, you know, they're working on it really hard, and it's going to come very, very soon. Oh, dude. And I'm like, you guys have been saying this for 2 years. I really don't need to hear you say this right now. That's like literally, like word for word what I said. Like a very kind of like undertone voice of like, I'm pissed off, shut the hell up. Like, it's just like, just get me a resolution right now. That's what it came down to, so. At least the other person gave me those details that I can work with, right? But they also said that Optimum, that he said someone from Optimum might come by and like ask some questions or take a look at things. That never happened, so, you know. Soon, dude, I remember when we first got the connection fixed. This was like 3 years ago. They told me like, it's probably about 6 months out. 3 years ago. it's like perpetually 6 months out. To be fair, I know that they're working on it. Like, I see it IRL. Like, you know, when you're going by the neighborhood and you're going by the pole lines and everything, like, you see them doing something. So it's not like it isn't happening. It's just there's no concrete answer. By the way, we're on Dragoon today. Little thanks to Velvet, little thanks to chat on Saturday. I asked chat what you guys wanted to see on a Palace run, and some suggestions got tossed out there. We have not done Dragoon in 2.5 years, and the last time I did Dragoon was when I died to a luring trap because I backflipped into it. I remember that run. That was a great run. And then I just backflipped into a luring trap, so that was that run. So now we'll try to hope that I don't do the same thing. Yeah, 2.5 years. Classic clip. It was a classic clip. I think I made a short into that. That was great. So it was that run. I looked at my thing, and it was that run. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. I thought I had gone back in since then. Can I get his strength? I don't know. So yeah, anyway, I mean, you know, generally speaking, you know, if anyone asks me how am I doing, I mean, I've been, you know, okay as of recent. Now I'm like pissed. So that's my current status right now. So we're looking for revenge, flipping into another luring trap, but honestly, I would like that arc. Yeah, I would enjoy that arc if that's possible. I've survived the luring trap in 194 before, so I mean, it's not that it's impossible. Just takes a little luck. Cutman, how was your stream, by the way? I believe it would be Gotcha Mondays for you, so I hope you had a good day today. Next week is going to be pretty big, right? I was looking at the timers for Honkai and Wuwa, and they're both, I think, getting their patches next week. So, kind of excited for that. This week is just kind of whatever. 3 course patrols. The one I survived was, 3 dragons on Machinist. I think that was on the tutorial, too. Butterfly float. Yeah, like, it's really bad when you try to witching them, too, because they're just gonna all come out at the same time. And... ooh, okay, on Friday. Well, nice of them to, like, stagger their releases. Well, Honkai would be on a Tuesday. I think Wuwa would be on a Wednesday, I believe. We get fancy new dash for Dragoon. It's actually nice in Palace. Oh yeah, that's right, I do have... yeah, that's right, I do get that. I can do some landmine plays with it. Kind of. Chest is there. Which is weird, normally it's Tuesday, but Season 2 is Friday. That is weird for miHoYo. Like, Wuwa definitely has had patches on, like, weird days. But I never had recalled Honkai ever not doing it on a Tuesday. Like, it's always on a Tuesday. By the way, thank you, everyone, for your patience with all the problems that I'm having. By the way, on our variety days, if you guys are interested in watching, we started playing Tinkerland, and I am having a little bit of fun with that game. That game is interesting. I don't know, and this isn't me asking for an answer. I don't know how long that's gonna hold me, but it's a pretty fun playthrough so far on our first day. So we'll be playing that for a little bit. Is there some kind of holiday in their country of origin that is pushing it? That's a fair question. But miHoYo is the company that owns Honkai, and I mean, unless there's something coming on tomorrow, but yeah, I don't know. Because Honkai's next week, so. Dragoon is a job I like to play, by the way, so like, unlike Monk, Dragoon is a job I really do enjoy, so we'll have some fun with this one. Oh, okay, well, we're just gonna go. I don't have a jump. How does it feel in PoTD compared to Reaper? Well, I'll let you know as time goes by. What I can tell you initially is that it's not going to give as much punch as Reaper, so you'll be a little bit more vulnerable in terms of overall damage. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing an Ape no steal as I would on Reaper. But the Bloodbath return is really nice. I think if you have everything wound up, you can really heal yourself back up on Dragoon, so it's really nice in that department. But I was a Dragoon main when I started Heavensward, always enjoyed the job. See, I didn't always enjoy the job. I mean, some of the old vets in here would know that I was crapping on Dragoon for a while. I think prior to Endwalker, and then when it turned into this form, I started to really like it. But the only reason I did not like Dragoon before was, I think, twofold. One, because it has that 5-hit combo. Before, your combo broke when you did a ranged attack. And that was really irritating. Like, it was just, it's like, why bother having this long combo, which I'll never finish, unless I'm in, like, you know, the high floors. So that's one thing that always kind of, like, you know, irritated me with this job. But the other thing was that, you guys are enjoying an era when your combos last for 30 seconds. Back in the day, it only lasted 10 seconds. So when you were going from enemy to enemy, you'd lose your combo. Like, unless you're pulling at a high speed, which you wouldn't typically do on a melee, you're losing your combo. So that was also the thing that was pissing me off on Dragoon. But since all of that got fixed, now it's like a much better situation. Hustle Hoof? That's a Hustle Hoof. What's up, man? How was your stream? Welcome in. Hope you had a good day today. Through our tech issues and our connection woes, we are here on Dragoon setting up the file, so today's gonna be pretty chill. Although, one could argue even the climb-ups are usually chill. But, depends on your perspective. How was your stream? Guys, that is our buddy, Mr. Hustler Hoop. He's one of the top scorers in Deep Dungeon. Very, very talented player in Deep Dungeon. And if you want to see some really top-notch gameplay in Deep Dungeon, you gotta check him out, because he's very, very good at the game. And definitely check him out. I mean, look, I would want to think you guys would want to be doing a almost like a Pokemon collection right now. With the upcoming Deep Dungeon, you want to know who the Deep Dungeon runners are, you want to know who's streaming, you want to know all these things, because once that new Deep Dungeon comes live, you know everyone's going to start popping off and putting in a lot of time. So if you need, like, you know, 24 hours of Deep Dungeon, you want to get as many people as you can, and that's going to be one of them. Nice 140, thank you. We're going back to my vintage days of streaming, when I can't even go anywhere close to 1080. I mean, to be fair, when I first started streaming, I only went to 720 because of the transcoding, but now, we're truly living the life of the pixelated stream. Maybe I should bring back the 8-bit playlists, but I can't guarantee it'll be good on YouTube, that's the only problem. Let me catch up here. I think it's the first time I had a chance to raid me. I think it is too, Hustle. Did a 1 to 30 in EO, then deleted the file because it was not good enough. You know what? I bet the most exciting part of that stream was deleting the file. I'm sure there is large celebration for that. What job are you thinking of the new Deep Dungeon? Warrior. It is going to be Warrior unless I perceive some information that forces me or makes me decide to change off of Warrior. The reason why I'm going to do Warrior is literally for prog reasons. That's the only reason why. I want progression, I want to last as long as possible. I am comfortable on Warrior, although I've never done 100 Warrior, but we'll figure it out. And it's literally just for prog reasons. I would say if I were to overthink this, which I am very good at overthinking, the only reason I can see that tank becomes a problem that I would actually swap off of tank is if they do some type of anti-tank strategy. That explicitly makes tanks less useful than the other jobs. Which I wouldn't know what the heck that could be, because I don't think they've ever done that in this game, but, you know, I hold the right of changing jobs and adjusting if needed. But the thing is, I need to kind of hold myself back and make sure I kind of commit in, because if I've done the job swapping before in Heaven on High, and I feel like it was a detriment. I think I would have been done better if I stayed with one job, and I'm keeping that in mind. But I think I have enough knowledge to understand when we are at a major disadvantage that I could just do better on another class. But more than likely, it'll be Warrior all the way up. And most importantly, one thing that I really want to embrace is doing the entire thing solo. When we did EO, I did 1-30 with Miss Sheila, Pinned, and Loken, because I was thinking, okay, let's do this in a party, and then I'll go in the rest blind, right? From 31 plus. But this time, we're doing the whole thing solo. I have no intentions of racing. I mean, I'm gonna race people who are going blind, but I'm not gonna race like the actual race to be first in. I can't do both. I can only pick one. Guess your first job, Monk. How am I doing, Hustlehoof? Well, my typical answer these past couple weeks has been okay, but now I'm like pissed because we had tech issues in the beginning. My connection is not really great. More so the tech issues. I didn't expect tech issues, so that was more irritating to me. Surprisingly, not Monk. Damn, man. I bet like $10 on that. Warrior 100 will not be hard to learn. It's just a few more GCDs. Yeah, Astrogar, I don't... I mean, it's kind of putting down this game, but like this game is like set up in a way where like I highly doubt I'm going to have a problem learning a job for the first time at 100. I've never had a problem learning a job at 80, never learning a job at 90, learning a job at 70. Like it's, if I ever have a problem learning a job in Final Fantasy XIV, we are in a good era. I'll put it that way. You know what I mean? Like we're living in a good life when I have a problem figuring out a job in this game. You can see the quality going up and down. Yeah. I'm giving you guys the old school experience of when I first started streaming. Warrior never changes, just more smashy buttons. I know it has, isn't the inner release now a combo or something like that? I'm recording, so, you know, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. Oh, that did not work the way I wanted to. Okay, well. Just enough buttons to keep it interesting? Sure. Also, if you gotta do any post-stream stuff, you're more than welcome to just jet and do what you gotta do. I just started, so we'll be here for... I'm going to 140, so that's okay. 140. We'll park this for next week. The usual shenanigans. Gonna get some food and head to bed. My dog. Alright, sounds good, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you. I hope we will. If I can make it to the end of stream without any disconnects, I will be very happy. Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but we'll try my best. IR has to build up for an OGCD that stomps. Gotcha. But I do hope you guys are having better days than I am. Hope the Mondays are starting off okay. Hope we got good weeks looking for you. Hopefully June will be a positive one for you guys. Okay. Let's do one more floor set and I'll turn the ads back on. You know what I should do though? Jobs that I should play in here in Deep Dungeon. I should do the jobs that are not 91 yet. I really need to find an excuse to level some of my jobs to 91. So I need to kind of think about that. Boom, 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 boom. Isn't dropping you Magicides today? Oh, is it one of those days? Maybe we're all unlucky, Willow. Today's the unlucky day. Astro's gonna get a run now. Is my Astro not 91? Oh crap. I mean, I wasn't against Astro, it's just kind of like I gotta be in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood for it yet. Floor 55 only found 2 so far. That's better than 0. How many sets would it need in PoTD compared to Heaven on... Well, that's the thing. I would be willing to go into maybe EO, you know, like to make it viable kind of thing. We can do that. Me first. Okay. My bad. Safety... Love getting the safeties just after traps. Those are the best type of safeties you'd ever want to see. Still not open yet. Alright. So you can safety, a trap that locks palms for the rest of the floor, or a time or something. A trap that locks palms for the rest of the floor. So a mobile, no items, is that what you're asking for? Locking time would be... See, man, I kind of wish that there was something that you could manipulate the duty finder timer. You know? But that's never going to happen. Oh, what's up, Sadie? That was the game that we were playing last week until I bricked the file, and then I'm not playing it anymore. Not right now, anyway. Sadie, if you are the type of person who likes building a town of NPCs and trying to keep them alive and managing them, that's Aska. I really like the game. It's a really good game. Very unique game for its genre. But, when we were streaming it, I was letting people name people, villagers and stuff. But when we finished playing it on Friday, we got invaded by a whole army of undead, and I could not get past it because they were too strong, so I bricked the file. Which was a little unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. Yeah, it's an early access. It's been around for a little over a year. And it's just in my opinion, it's a really interesting game. Like, it just fits that niche and that itch for me, because there is very little games out there where you build a town and you manage and build like a colony, and it's loaded with NPCs who are actually participating in combat, in building, in every aspect of creating this village. Because something like Enshrouded has NPCs, but they're literally just there to be aesthetic NPCs. Like, they're just there aesthetically. They walk around the village, you can talk to them to buy stuff, they give you quests, but they don't really do anything. You're not threatened by something attacking you, you know? Bellwright is a game that's based on medieval times, and it's a little similar to Aska in a way that you're supposed to manage. I didn't play the game yet. I've been kind of holding back on that game just because the reviews were kind of like, you know, not to my liking. I mean, maybe if it like gets better. And then another game that I did like before, which was Medieval Dynasty. That, like, you hand built everything. You're like the leader of this village. You invite people to live in your village, but the people there are just they're a little bit more than aesthetics, but they work. You can assign them to do things, but they are not threatened by dying. Maybe when they get old they die, but that's about it. Like, they're not gonna get attacked. You're not gonna get raided. So, but yeah, I kind of wish there were more games like that. but it's surprisingly very few and far between. One of the other ones was mentioned, I think Gim said it, was that I forgot about. Oh no, Jason mentioned it. Pal World. Pal World, I think at least has a little bit more interacting with quote-unquote the NPCs, but that's a little bit more... I don't know how to call it. Like a little more... I don't know, there's a word I'm looking for. Less serious, I think is what it is. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Less serious, which is not a bad thing. Just, I remember last time I played Pal World, it was very janky when you tried to assign them to do things. Like, it was very glitchy. Well, it's Pokemon, and then you can make them build stuff, so... Have you ever played Aquaru? It sounds familiar. Doesn't that have a town aspect? You can build a town and demons and natural... Yeah. Didn't they do a remaster of that game recently? I didn't look too deep into that game, but when I hear Town Builder, I get a little intrigued by it, that's for sure. I think the one game that I would really be entertained by, considering I've always enjoyed Necromancer and Necromancy, is like give me a colony management simulator of a Necromancer, and your NPCs are the skeletons that you summon and raise. Put them out on raids, let them defend the castle, make them do jobs, like that would be great. But, you know, at this point, if I want a game like that, I have to go and develop it, I feel like, because there's no way in hell someone's putting that under development. Yo, what up, Sid? How you doing? Welcome in. I swear there's a game about a cult of the similar... Cult of the Lamb, is that if that's what you're thinking about. Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb looked interesting, but I wanted something more than Cult of the Lamb. Like, I do like the 3D aspect of it. Like, V Rising was kind of closer to something I would enjoy. But even there, the NPCs there are still kind of more... They don't do as much as I want them to do. Doing good. Lost in the sea of the Occult Crescent. I hope you have... Are you having fun with the content? I heard a little bit that because Occult Crescent happened, the moon has died. The moon is dead. Which I mean, you go to the flavor of the month, it makes sense. Oh, to kind of finish off the Ask a discussion, by the way, for those that were interested. Like I said, I do like the game. The only problem I have with the game at the moment, which is not something I hold against them because it's still early access, it's that it kind of lacks endgame. Like you can get all, like you can build a village, you can survive all the invasions, you can kill all the raid bosses that are there, but after you do that, that's kind of it. Like you did everything. And it's like, you could continue building the village if you want to, but I kind of want there to be more to it after you get to quote-unquote endgame, so that's my only downside. But I've always kind of enjoyed going back to that game, building a new village, and like just spending time doing that. So I mean, it has its plus, and you know, it has its pluses there, but definitely not like a mega long-term game. But I think it'll suck a couple good hours if that's a genre that you like. Hey Zorby, the moon can't die as long as I'm fit. Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is like more than 10 people. I see, that would be so cool. You know what that might... So I never played Minecraft. I never stepped foot in Minecraft, but I used to watch a lot of Let's Plays. So I know that there is like a thing, like the end game of Minecraft where you're supposed to build a portal to go into it and beat like a giant dragon, right? Wouldn't that be cool? You send your army in and everything? That'd be awesome. That actually does sound like a really cool idea. It's pretty fun. I like going through the different Phantom jobs, and it's great to try out the stage and solo things. Gotcha. Oh, I said the word stage. Willow's gonna come back. Intuition? I don't really care. Unless you guys redeem it. I got tempted to play Hades. But I'm still waiting for that to get fully released. I missed. Thank you, Darth. Keeping me in check here. I never left. Was going to speed 51 plus on Dark Knight, but being down a match site, then 8, room 51, and no items 52, maybe decide to go easy. That sounds like you would want to go easy there. Okay, just enough. See, I'm looking at the stream preview, and, like, it isn't lagging, so, I mean, I can take that. The quality might look like crap, but it's alright. It's like 9-year-old content. No big deal. So as long as we're surviving, then it's fine, but I still want to get this damn connection fixed at some point. Quality only takes a huge crap every so often. It shouldn't. Yeah, but I mean, it's the best we can do. Because, like, my bitrate is, like, I'm looking at my kbps right now in OBS, and it's basically just not getting above 3K. 2500, 2700. Oh, 3500, but it's gonna go down again. 3100, yeah, so. It just boggles my mind how my connection can be like this for, like, multiple days. And, like, no one's complaining, no one's saying anything, there's nothing that anything, like, noticed, like, is, like... Hello? Oh, I don't know if you saw, I cleared red mage on... Yes! Of any of you who cleared with no sustain. It's, it just takes a lot of practice. It's just what it is. I mean, I know red mage isn't your favorite, so I mean, it's fair, but... It just takes a lot of practice. A lot of, like, anticipation, you know. It's not gonna be wired for everyone to do. Hey, yo. We're here for the vibes, not the stream call. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If I could pin that message, I would. Oh, Ashagar said, Akriser, you are the missionary of God, basically, and build a town to rise it up. In the end, the corruption gets too large and you have to go down. That's the action platformer part of the game when you hit every... Gotcha, okay. You know, for some reason, for Akriser, I feel like I definitely saw that game back in the day, but I don't think I ever saw gameplay of it. I always saw that game show up. It did feel a fair bit better, though, this time around, so I think I'm a lot more mob knowledge paid off. Yeah. It is a lot of mob knowledge in my opinion. When you know when damage is supposed to be incoming and you perfectly optimize your heals for it, that's how you pull it off. Not many people actually use their upload speed in a given area. Gamer streamers only for the most part. I know that's true. So you only need the bare minimum, but like, I guess it's just, to me, it's like. Wouldn't anyone notice a slowdown, I suppose? But whatever. I mean, that was my whole original problem, Darth. When I had this issue back before the pandemic, was that I think I was, like, literally the only one complaining. You know, so that's why they never really took it seriously. But then, when the pandemic hit, and everyone was stuck at home, well, guess what? Everyone was doing Zoom calls, and it's like, oh, why is my Zoom quality poor? Yeah, because everyone is uploading now because they have to do the calls. So that's the only time when they actually took it seriously, you know? Which is just irritating. It's like, yeah, I told you there's been a problem for years. But you wait until it's actually needed for it to be fixed, which I guess is typical. It's one of your favorite games made by Enex? Yeah, sure. Depending on the ISP, it sometimes can only check what's happening outside. So the issue is equipment or inside wiring, you have no clue. Yeah, and then that's basically been the issue, because it's never my equipment. It's always something on the outside, but they can never pinpoint what that actually is. Because the original issue, Thunder, was that it was the node that connected the larger neighborhood that was overloaded. And so it would give off just random bad signals, and it was so intermittent they could never nail it down unless they found the source, but the source was the node. Now, every other time that's been a problem, I actually don't know what the solution was. All I know is that they look into it. They're like, oh yeah, we see the problem, we'll look into it, and then a couple days later, it's fixed. With no explanation. And I try to ask, I mean, they just tell me it's fixed. So it's like, okay, great. I'm glad it's fixed. Can you stop making this happen? That'll be really good. Squirrels are the bane of wires. Look, that's fine if it's squirrels. Just tell me it's squirrels. Don't give me like, just don't give me like some blank answer where this like, you know, like I'm dumb or something. It's like, you could tell me so I can pinpoint it next time. What are my strengths at? I haven't gotten strength in a while. Boss music for the boss, yeah. My playlist knows, it's aware. Also, technical department and customer service don't crosstalk. Management doesn't like that. Yes, that is what I've seen with my ISP. Is that the customer support have literal no connection with the people on the ground. It's like your literal like tier list of like workers, right? You have the call center, first line of defense, then you have the guys on the ground, and then you have the one above them, the seniors, and then above seniors. But they don't, it's like they never communicate with each other. And it's like, okay, well... It seems so backwards, but okay. And I remember, like, there was one time that the guys in the tech guy comes over here and they're like, man, those people in the call center don't know anything. I'm like, yeah, I know. Why? Like, couldn't there just be, I don't know, some type of connection? Alright, let me hit the ads here, and then we'll continue going through to 140. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in a bit. I had this one time, Darth, where, this was early before pandemic, so I was still trying to look for the solution to my problem, right? Because it's almost like I felt like I was getting gassed at this point. And I call up the call center, and I remember reading in a Reddit post of like, oh, you should try to push up to their manager, to like their senior in the call center. They'll be more, you know, better. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that next time. So I do. And I'm like, can I talk to your senior, to your manager, whatever? Like I've called like so many times, I've gotten no progress. I don't want to talk with you guys. I want to talk to the person. So I talk to the person, right? They get them on the phone. And I tell them the situation, and then they give me this rundown about, well, maybe your router is, like, not good enough. Like, it's known that, like, routers need to have certain power to, like, blah, blah, blah. So, like, we suggest you maybe getting, like, a better router. I'm like, okay. You know what? That's the first time I've ever been told that. We'll give it a shot. I get a pretty expensive router. Did absolutely nothing. And I was so angry. Like, you made me dish out this money to have zero progress. And I'm just, like, pulling at strings just to get anything working. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't have any trust in the managers then. So Manager of the call center knows less than the extra reps. Yeah, and that's yeah. Oh yeah, clearly. They just gave me I mean, you guys are talking about scripts and everything. They probably just gave me an answer that just to get me off the phone, you know. Remember, before I had the business account, you had like the call center from International, and they told me, "Oh, can you turn off your router and let me know when it comes back in?" I didn't turn it off because I know that they can, like, a regular Optimum person can see if I turned it off, you know. So I didn't do it, and I'm like, yeah, I turned it off and turned it back on. It's like, okay, now did you want to check the... I'm like, okay, great. This is just BS. I'm not talking to you. And then there was one time I did it again to, like, an actual Optimum rep, and I didn't touch the modem. I'm like, yeah, I turned it off. And they go, it's still online. Are you sure that you turned it off? I'm like, okay. They're actually looking at my modem? Okay. They actually care? Okay. It's a good thing I still have a decent amount of memory in my hard drive, so I can keep recording these things. So at least we'll have, like, the video that will show up on YouTube will be of a better quality than the one you're seeing on stream. Dalmel. Uh-oh. We're dangerously close to getting a disconnect. Okay. And this is, by the way, this situation right now is precisely where I'm extremely scared when Deep Dungeon comes out. Because I cannot predict when something like this will happen. And I have every intention of signing myself up to get on the front page for Deep Dungeon. I want to aim for a Thursday, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday is usually crappy time to get it because everyone's asking for it. And I think Thursday is a good day because I might be in decent prog territory by the time it's Thursday. Or like day, if you will, like, what do you call it? Day 2. But can you, I can just totally see it where, like, that's the period of time when my connection's bad, and I'm just gonna feel so... I don't know, I don't even know what to express after that. One of the fun calls I had, guy was saying there is no internet, and I see that the modem is reporting offline, so I asked them, what are the lights doing on the modem? They respond, 1 minute, I need to get a flashlight, which confused me, so I asked why... So I asked, why can't you just see the lights even if it's dark? And they said, well, the power's out, so I can... Oh my god, yeah, well... I think there is the obvious back and forth, right? I mean, okay, I'm coming from this perspective. I'd like to think I'm a little bit knowledgeable in what I'm doing. I'm talking coherently and intelligently. Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys probably have to deal with people who are just, like, absolute idiots out there, you know? So, it works both ways, naturally. Yeah, that's what the guy told me today, too, Darth. Again, these are things I just don't want to hear. Like, I just keep it simple. I just need you to check the connection. I need you to tell me if there's an outage. I don't need any other tech. Just if that's not working, then yes, you need to call someone over. Like, that's all I need to know. But he's like, did you make sure that, like, is your modem interfering? Is it in, like, a cabinet or something? Is it like widely open? You know? Are you sure there's no other large devices that are nearby? And he's like, you know, usually on a wireless connection, it's going to be slower. I'm like, bro, first and foremost, my thing is it's out in the wide open. There's nothing interfering. Second, I'm wired. I don't know why you're making assumptions right now. Like, just, you don't need to run down a checklist. Like, I just asked you for a couple things. That's all I need to know. Like, I know these are things that you're going to check with me. It's just, you know, not what I want to hear. Those kind of people are more common than yeah, no, Thunder, there's a reason I very much enjoy streaming and not having to deal with people. Because at least people here, we curate the people that are here. If I'm out in the wild, then it is out in the wild. Another one where they had the next to them. Oh my god. Oh, that's classic. To be fair, I don't think people know that a microwave would kind of wreck the connection. I think that's something that I would say a majority of people don't actually know about, so that's fair. Wi-Fi signals interfering, stuff like that. I think that's something that totally can get lost. I mean, I could totally see myself knowing this information and still making that mistake and not realizing I made that mistake. You know what I mean? So I'll let that one slide, personally. Or a lady yelling because she forgot her Facebook password and wouldn't do a password reset. Wait, why are there like 12 people here? What happened? Having worked a lot in tech, you sounded like the kind of user customer that was a pain in the ass. Who, me? Okay, here we go, flight. You know, like the microwave is supposed to keep the waves inside. How can it interfere with the Wi-Fi signals outside? Yeah, see? Logic. See, on my end, Ashragar, I'm dealing with a problem that has been around for like, what now, 6-7 years? They never gave me an answer, there's always miscommunication. I already know the rundown of what's supposed to happen. So it's like, I went into the conversation asking a very simple question. Well, they asked me, of course, what's the problem, right? My connection's slow. Okay. And I asked them a very simple question. How does the speed look? But it completely deteriorated when they gave me a fiber speed. And they gave me like, oh, your speed is supposed to be 950 by 950. And I was like, that's not what I'm supposed to have. Like, you're not looking at my connection. And that's where it devolved from there. Because all I wanted to know was basically three things. What does my speed look to you guys? Is there any packet loss? Do you have any reports of problems? That's it. If I get nothing on there, then I already have my answer. I don't need to do anything else. But the guy was pretty insistent. He just wanted to do all the checklists, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm just gonna answer your questions, but those aren't the questions I need answered. It's extremely annoying. But the first line grunts are clueless. Not their fault, really. Yeah, like it's because I think the thing is too. Like I have a business account. And I have called in tech support, and I've had really good people. Like they listen to me. They are patient. They just give me exactly what I need to hear. You know, instead of giving me a rundown, a runaround. Sorry. Like I said, the guy I called, who I was inquiring about fiber, gave me more information than anyone's ever given me before. He literally, like, so every time I ask for fiber, I always get, no, it's not available. You should wait a little bit longer. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, it's either available or it's not. I mean, I would love to get more information. Of course, when I look at a map, a coverage map online, it says I'm supposed to have fiber, but whatever. But the guy I called goes like, okay, let me take a look at it. Puts me on hold, comes back, and he literally tells me there's a node 110 feet away from me. Like, he knows the exact precise location of where that node is. like I was not expecting that information. I'm like, oh, that's really good. Okay. So there's hope. Except the part where he tells me someone's supposed to pass by, that never happened. What's up, CDX? How you doing? It's been years and you're paying for a service that didn't make sense. It's like Guardios, for me, I don't know, maybe it's not policy for you guys, for the guys in tech and everything. I just feel like my account would have a history, and you just need to look at the history. But they probably don't keep the history, or there is no history, so they don't know what they're referencing, and it's just, you know. It's not like I'm complaining about a new problem. I mean, I guess I could be complaining about a new problem, but it's like, hey, can you just look at the history? Same problem. This is kind of a recurrent situation where I just feel bad for them and wish they'd swap for better. If I had the option. And that's where I'm trapped. I don't have another ISP, so I'm stuck with them. I can't even threaten, man. I can't even be like, you know what, you guys suck. I'm gonna swap to, like, Verizon. I can't. Probably would have made my life so much easier, you know? My comment about pain in the ass was the tongue-in-cheek. They do keep a history, but the tickets are still shit, to be honest. Well, no, they are good, but most companies don't customize them. Ugh. Okay, so I left off the conversation today being like, can you just note it on my account? Like, write it on my account. I'm having problems. And then whoever looks at it in the future can look at it and then figure something out. Call them to report a problem. Literally, that's fine. Like, if anything, that's all I need you to put down. That is already a step above what I was expecting. Literally, that's all I asked for. Because like I said, I don't know the situation with my connection constantly when like I get a tech in here, they're like, yeah, we see the problem, and then like I don't hear back. They don't come back to me. They don't update me, and then it's fixed. And sometimes it's fixed the day of. And you know, having it happen so many times, I think it's far from a coincidence. You know, it's almost like they had to tell the hamster, "Hey, you took a break. You need to start running again." And it's like, okay, and then they start running again, and then guess what? It's fixed. Would that basically just be all the times I called in, though? Not every time. Not every time I tell them to, like, put a note down. It's just this one guy I was talking to, I was, like, done with them. I just didn't want to talk to them again. Usually one call wouldn't if everything is working normally. Usually one wouldn't call if everything is... Yeah, you know. You would assume. They need to replace something. I don't care. If it's dead, then fix it. You know, it's just get it working again. Hold a funeral and move on. Call them in, tell them to open a case, and they are not allowed to close it until it's solved. Their score get affected then they'll... Ooh, okay. So open a case. But yeah, but I think okay, this is me more out of curiosity, just because that's the way you said it. Wouldn't I guess it's also case-to-case basis, because I feel like if they open a case, it would require a tech to come over. Which, at the moment, I don't want one to come over. I'm gonna wait this out to see if it resolves itself, but I'm giving it to, like, Thursday and then call them in. Like, I think if I had every intention of asking a tech to come over, then maybe I can pull that card. Today I wasn't, because I needed to plan out when I wanted the tech to come in. The bigger issue is the rep will just put in some work order, but techs will very rarely notate what the issue was. Yeah, that's what I found out. The people on the phone aren't the ones closing the work orders generally. You're off the phone and they're done with you. Why would you call if there wasn't a problem? Cancel. That's like a one-time thing, change the speed of the plan. I don't think that one... I don't think that one would happen that frequently either. Right, yeah. But I guess it's rough because... okay, I call in that there's an issue, but it becomes obviously problematic, which again, this is the thing I've been dealing with forever. It's that I say, hey, I have an issue, they use all their tools, and they don't see the issue. It would be very, very different if they see the issue. I remember there was the point in time, kind of a little bit closer to when I actually got my connection fixed, was I started to learn that I had to ask for packet loss. Hey, can you look for packet loss? The magic words. And there were times when they actually saw packet loss, which then it's like, okay, there's clearly a problem, they need to go fix it. Like, unless they fix the packet loss, then it's an unacceptable situation. That's one of the things I need them to check, and well, there wasn't any, so... Of course, they were looking at a fiber connection, but that's besides the point. The connection I don't have. I had a guy that called in just to talk to reps. Also, another who would call just to get it. I wonder how often they have to deal with that, too. I imagine that's, like, few and far between. I would, when I open a case, tell them to pull up your history of the last 7 years and stop treating it as a one-time thing. I would, when I open the case... This is gonna give me pause. So tell them to pull up the history of the last 7 years, stop treating it as a one-time thing. Hey, I should sound more threatening, you're right. I like the aggression. I should be more aggressive. When you do a call center for TV service, we get someone who only ordered the... God, to have to call it in. I guess that's the only way to do it, huh? Guy who only wanted to talk to female vets was blacklisted and the company died and served. Nice. Good. Good. Yeah, because that's... I mean... It's just to be so bold to do that? Like, I don't see how you were going to be... How that was gonna go well at all. But I guess that's just the thing sometimes. People do think that they're just a little bit above everyone else. And I have my backflip. Man, can I call into the call center and get one of you guys? Is that possible? I missed my window to do my big damage. Oops. My bad. Wait. I haven't done any use, thank God. Good. That's good. I think the best customer service I dealt with as of recently was Verizon's. They were great. Nope. My favorite call was a lady who wanted to know why their bill was so high. Someone had ordered like 40 adult films. The lady was like, I was out of town the weekend, only my son was home. Wait. Then asked me to read her all the titles so she could yell at her son. This must have been years ago for that to be a... Like, wait, do they still do that even to this day? Is that a thing that you do, like, in present day? That's wild to me. Like, that almost sounds like something you'd hear in, like, early 2000s. People still order tons? Wow. Okay. I guess no judgment. I mean, I'm not judging the act of it. It just sounds interesting. Also, I guess not. I haven't had cable in like years, so at least cable TV. So you know, just using the streaming services, I almost forget that that's still a thing. Should probably hold on to my cooldown since I'm unrunning a strength. $10 per month on just adult pay-per-view. Boy, someone got educated. Someone got real educated. Did my stream die for a second? It looks like my stream died for a second. I see my ads have reset. So clearly it died for a second. Great, I love that for me. So that's twice I've disconnected. I don't have a lot of faith for tomorrow's stream. I just want to play games, man. Can I just play games, please, on stream? It's a good thing that... So, I play ads on stream, right? I try to keep them in the best spot possible, so it's good for a viewing experience. Like, I'm always cognizant of this. But the main reason why we play them is to keep the pre-rolls off the stream. But what's good is that even when... So, if my stream dies, the ad manager that I have resets. However, the pre-rolls still register on my stream that it's still on. So, at least that's good. So, at least Twitch keeps that going. That's something that's on their own system. So I'll just turn off the ads and we'll wait for that. Okay, let's continue. And thanks again for your patience, guys. I really appreciate it. I have that copy-pasted, by the way. Okay. Hey Hugo, hi, how's it going? Interesting, yeah, every time the stream dies, you lose your pin post, because the pin post is set for manual unpin or when the stream is finished. Technically, the stream finished, so... I'm surprised I didn't aggro. Really? I hit it? God dang it. I don't know if I killed this in time. I do not have anything wound up for this fight. Okay. Wasn't even meaning to waiting for the mail. She obviously got one. She should be able to mail other things as well, but from what I hear... Most companies are such money pinchers. There was another chest in there, I think. Hey, Thunder. You know, that's just gonna be today's stream, Thunder. It's just gonna go in and out. At least I've only disconnected twice. You know what's great? I'm looking at my Twitch dashboard, and the session isn't going above. It technically isn't starting. It's just saying 0. So it's like, you know what? We know your connection is bad. We're just not even gonna start the session. Love that for me. Ink is pretty expensive. Ink is indeed pretty expensive. Strength came back. Ooh, another strength. Oh, that's the exit? Sick. I noticed I think my keyboard isn't activated. No, it is. It's okay, it's so pixelated you can't even notice it, it's fine. Strength again. Yeah, I'll just use it now. Bum, 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 bum. Safety. Stream seems like it's going well today. Oh yeah, it's going very well. Top notch, best one I've ever had. What's up, Ross? Hope you like pixelization, because it's one of those days, one of those weeks. Mage, okay. Steel. How are you doing, Mr. Ross? Hope you had a good start to your week. How did Ova's loop go? Caught the first 20 minutes or so. You know what? The game was pretty fun. The roguelike part of it was pretty cool. The game played nice. You can actually play it now. It's still available, I think, until the 6th of June. There's a couple UI text things that could definitely be improved on, but it's open beta, so it's, you know, I mean, it's beta, it's whatever. I think the only thing is that I kind of hope that there will be, like, more endgame options because I played it for like 3 hours and I basically got used to the first 2 levels that they offered, and it definitely got like really easy. So like the challenge was learning the game, not so much the actual difficulty of the game in itself. So I mean, again, it's a snapshot of the game. Maybe it does get more difficult later on, and all that stuff. But I liked it a lot in terms of the gameplay. It was good. It just needs to have a more ramped up difficulty. My fan of 2D games like that in general. So there's a recommendation I have for you. You may not like Noida. I think I'm not necessarily against it. I think to me it's more I will get enamored by, oh yeah, Hollow Knight. I will get enamored by the gameplay, because the first thing I remember, the first thing that caught my attention, it played really smooth, especially on the controller. Like it played silky smooth, responsive, and that's always nice because I don't want to struggle with. I think the first line of things that I watch out for in a game is especially when the game is meant to be fast. No, not necessarily. Even turn-based games can be fast, but when my fingers want to hit buttons and they want to move quickly, and the game doesn't keep up with that, I get irritated very quickly. Because now it's like I have to always leave in my brain oh, I need to delay here because it's gonna be slow, and it just irritates me. Like I love it when menus are responsive and quick as hell. Like that's so much fun for me. Now Hollow Knight, I know Hollow Knight. I think I'm waiting for Silk Song, the game that never releases. So I think once that comes out, that's probably when I get into it. But Hollow Knight in itself, I probably don't get into, but I'm interested in the new one. It's a great game for me, solid gameplay, great challenges. Path of Pain is probably the hardest platforming challenge I've ever done in a game. Even harder than Celeste. Menus in I'd never experienced 1.0 menus. I mean, even Final Fantasy XI menus were not bad at all, so. Pokemon fans are really active lately. It's probably, well, they had the 6-second trailer in the Switch thing, right? So there's progress, and I think for a while they weren't sure that there would ever be progress, and there's progress. But Path of Pain is notoriously difficult. Gotcha. Celeste is like Celeste. I don't know if you've seen Celeste, Ross. Celeste is on the levels of like Super Mario Maker, that kind of thing. Like it's known for its whacked out difficulty. I think it's very close to like Super Meat Boy, but like 100 times harder, from my understanding. I think I'm indifferent to platformers. I don't think I really dove into like a platforming game like that before, but I never had a desire to, but I'm not necessarily against it. I mean, I enjoyed Stray a lot. Stray was really fun. So I imagine I probably would like that. Takes all of your Hollow Knight platform knowledge and goes, okay, now don't touch your forces level. Yeah, well, if you've ever seen Super Mario Maker, they have stages where you take like a Koopa shell, and you're supposed to basically travel and jump on it like for the entire round or something. Like that's how you're supposed to do. Is your warrior run on PoTD up to date with the current meta? Love my video, says Withoff. Try clearing PoTD machines for a while, but now I'd like to try warrior. Let me see when I last did warrior. Hold on a second. I'd want to think, in general, there isn't much change to Warrior since the last time I did it, so that's probably why I haven't gone back into it. We did one August 3, 2024. Right before Dawntrail. And, okay, so here's the information you want to know about the transition of how we're looking with Deep Dungeon. Going into this expansion, Deep Dungeon did not really change at all, which was actually the first expansion in 2 expansions where Deep Dungeon did not change, because the last 2 it did change. So in terms of that, nothing is really adjusted. Warrior in itself, from what I can recall, the difference between Warrior back in Endwalker and now in Dawntrail is that its AoEs are like slightly weaker, but I think its core gameplay is exactly the same. So you can definitely take the last one I did, and this was let me put it in chat here. This actually might be an interesting one to take a look at. because this was when I did a no sustaining potion challenge. So we cleared on Warrior without using a single sustaining potion. So that might be interesting as a perspective. But I would say whatever I did last on Warrior as well, anything that's in Endwalker would be fine. Like, you can refer to that. When was the date of this one? When did I do a normal Warrior run? We did a normal Warrior run in Palace in March 2024. Yeah, I would say that's still very recent. So I would totally, and that's a scoring run, so it's even different. It's a scoring run in March 30th of 2024. So yeah, I would. Those are fine. You can take a look at those and take as much information as you want from those. You can only find the one from. Oh, okay. Let me drop down the other one that I had. This one is when I did a high score run on Warrior. So it's going to be a little different in terms of how I execute things. It's definitely pushing the limits of Warrior. But that one was 2024. I will check out Celeste and then when I'm in the mood for platform again. Sure. That reminds me, what Deep Dungeon change was most surprising to me? Like, you didn't expect it at all, if any? You mean, like, the changes of... Let me get your question correct here. Do you mean the changes, Snack, of, like, up to present day and, like, within the actual main content, not, like, job changes or whatever? Or just anything that had altered the content in some way? Let me get a specification on the question that you're looking for. But let me also think about the answer to the question. Warrior AoE got buffed in 7.1, 7.2, so it's pretty much back to how it used to feel. Okay. AoE nerf is at lower levels. But it's very minimal, though. No problem. And with Roth, keep you posted on how your run goes, and let me know how Warrior feels to you. Any that affect you, deep dungeon job changes, sustaining... Okay. So the... Back to the question, what's the one that was most surprising to me? To answer that question straight out, I would say the sustaining potion was probably the biggest surprise to me, because that was something that the community had wanted for a long time. And I didn't think that they would execute it in that way, and the way that they executed it seemed great. Like, it was like, okay, you know what? That's a good way. People wanted it to be a job action, people wanted it to be purchasable in the market board, you know, so and so, like lots and lots of suggestions. I never actually heard about people thinking like, oh, just increase the duration. And I think that really helped mitigate a lot of things. Just for people, like just the whole quality of life of doing Deep Dungeon. A very small change, which definitely had a big impact. So that was probably the most surprising to me, at least in current status. I mean, the two other big ones, I mean, the stat squish was not... See, the stat squish was huge, but that wasn't really surprising. That was just a roll of the dice. I mean, what were we going to expect from the stat squish, right? And I guess, if anything, indirectly to Deep Dungeon, some of the job changes, like Warrior getting raw intuition, Machinist getting drill, you know, those were kind of the things that... Obviously, it's not intentional that you're designing for Deep Dungeon, but to see what the jobs are in this content, Ninja getting its overhaul when they took the what do you call it? The mudras out of, like, they changed the way the mudras worked. I mean, that was huge for Deep Dungeon. Really changed the job completely. Yeah, I would say like not necessarily half, a little less than half, but still, I mean, it was still a really good fix in a very little way, which is like kind of the MO for Square Enix to begin with. They want to make incremental changes, and that was definitely on par to the Square Enix Yoshi P way of life, you know? But actually, what Darth said, although I know he's joking, there was that part in Shadowbringers where Deep Dungeon was broken. It wasn't because of the belt removal. It's because they took the VIT values out of accessories. Like, they adjusted the way accessories and vitality works. But because they did that, they didn't fix it in Deep Dungeon, and Deep Dungeon was broken for a month. Like, it was literally unplayable if you're a DPS for a month. That was interesting. I mean, you know, spaghetti code is spaghetti code. You can't predict those things, so it's hard to say that I was surprised. Like, it's hard to say that I was necessarily surprised by that, because, you know, it wasn't a direct change, so things happen. I mean, you could almost say, like, you know, oh man, I was surprised that we have floating chests now, but that was still another collateral of something else they adjusted, you know? No, I know you're joking. It's just, it reminded me of when they actually changed accessories and how broken Deep Dungeon was in Shadowbringers for a month. Like, it's hard to put in perspective now because the HP values are different due to the stat squish, but to put it in the current situation that I'm in right now, look at my HP. 9,413, right? Just imagine that you walk into the higher floors of Deep Dungeon, like let's say 181, and you had 9,413 HP, and you pop the Mimic, it would crit you for 10,000. Like, without steal, it just crits you for 10,000. You're just one shot. That was what DPS were dealing with in Heaven on High when it was broken. That you had about 32,000 HP, and a Mentega, the elephants that jump you, if they crit you for 33,000 with no steal. It was impossible. You had to literally only get through with steal, or you're just going to die randomly. And that was 81. That's not even 91. So good luck to anyone trying to do Deep Dungeon at that point, especially when the knowledge wasn't as good as it was today. Now, tank, I did a tank. That's when I got World First Gunbreaker, because I was like, I'm not doing Dancer. I'm going to do Gunbreaker because Dancer is broken. So I went to Gunbreaker and we got Gunbreaker. And tank was fine because even though it had 10,000 less HP, it's still a tank, so who cares? By the way, doing a lot of OC solo lately, and it made me realize I probably won't go Dark Knight for blind Deep Dungeon anymore. Ha. At this point, I'm honestly considering Samurai. It is nice. It's nice that the stats, Chris, they even said we will watch Deep Dungeon and make changes if needed. Wait, did they say that? No, they didn't say that. They haven't touched Deep Dungeon since the stats squish. That adjustment, that was a different adjustment. That was not during the stats squish. That was before the stats squish. So that was a completely different thing. But I mean, to be fair, like, if the stat squish did break Deep Dungeon like it did back in Shadowbringers, I'm sure they probably would do something, but... Did they say it? Look, I believe you, Darth. I believe you. I just don't remember it, but I believe you. I personally don't remember it. I think I would have remembered it, but like I said, I believe you. So Ross, do the things in OC hit hard? Because I was watching some of my buddies, and it looked like they hit pretty hard, but they might have been also trying to fight something that was, like, well above their level. And then it immediately crossed my mind about, like, oh, do you think they're going to change the way auto attacks work in the next Deep Dungeon? Are they going to make them hit hard now? Like, I wonder what the logic is going to be. You know, you look at the content that's in the game, you kind of see if they're taking any hints from what's out there. If you're under level, the mob will wreck you. So if you're of level, is it okay? Is that what you're telling me? Hey Perfy, how you doing? Someone? Hey Breezy. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I blood out there. From a solar theater perspective, it feels like maybe an 81, 91 mob without steal. Yo, gotcha, okay. caster healer. Gotcha. So it hurts, but no problem for a tank. Gotcha. I wonder if they'll ever try to implement something that would equal out, you know, the tanks being too powerful. But when you start to AoE on Dark Knight, it becomes a... Well, how does it become a problem for that? I didn't do my combo right. Oops. I tried sowing a C last night in Scala. I died instantly the first thing. Is there no defense to it? Can't you like swap to like Knight or something? Okay. You fainted out for sure. I remember back in Boja, when I tried to solo a CE, you had to definitely put on tank stuff if you're a DPS. Like, you just had to be a tank at that point. You're testing Watcha. Some of the avoidable AoEs are mean, which I guess is the point. Yeah, well, yeah. Like, I don't know if they retained that. You know, that's something they retained from last patch cycle. Because again, like, you know, I would look at the content trying to get hints on what they might do for Deep Dungeon, you know? Because they clearly will have, like, a... It's like I would feel like if they created some mold of what battle content is supposed to be in the expansion, they would stay with that mold. They wouldn't go way outside the box of what they're currently doing. So like I would expect a lot of fast mechanics. I just don't know about damage, how much damage you're taking on an individual basis. But... Okay, let me hit an ad here, guys. 3 minutes, we'll be back. Thank you for watching. I shall catch you after the ad. Our goal is 140 today. Yerby. And hopefully I don't disconnect again. Unlikely, but whatever. Like, someone in my party got one shot by the same level telegraph. Gotcha. So that defensive phantom job on Dark Knight I was running had a stuff other kid has, and with other three tanks, it felt like I could AoE forever. It's right in the range where TBN doesn't break, but it kills you slowly. That sucks. My guess is the lower levels will be pretty approachable since they said they want people. Yeah, I think so too, Thunder. That's exactly what I think as well. It's going to be a lot more quality of life than EO. It has to be. It's going to be like a fast burn. It's just where do they ramp up the difficulty is the question. Good old dead Final Fantasy games. Love them. Yeah, I'm lazy. Much as I hate on Gunbreaker, though, I actually like it at 100. Yeah? I'll hold my opinion when I get there. I am not a Gunbreaker enjoyer myself. It's just boring to me, but... Purite? Alright, let's go. Paladin is boring to you, but I love Gunbreaker. That's fair. Yeah, I like Paladin. You know what it is though for me, Breezy? I think it's a case of like what the job was and what the job is, and I didn't like Paladin before, but in comparison to that, I like its current version. You know, like I'm not gonna say I love Paladin, but I certainly like it way better than what it was before. Do they need that continuation to feel good, and the Lionheart combo is good? Yeah, all the rates coming in. The one good triangle strategy song. Fortune. Yeah, sure. Nope. Can't you remember? Yeah. I got debated because they were like, you know, what is it? The producers of Octopath were in that game. Like, oh, come on! And then I set my expectation way too high. If I set my expectation to think music is going to be as good as Octopath, I'm setting myself up for disaster. Because look, I love Final Fantasy music, right? I'm definitely a Final Fantasy fanboy. Their music is just all over my playlists everywhere. It's just Octopath does stand taller than Final Fantasy very clearly to me. So if I compare anything to Octopath, then you're on very high levels with me in terms of the music that I prefer. Now they need to give Dark Knight Omni Strikes so people can be Cloud, like Gunbreaker. Cloud? What is it? What job would you associate Cloud with? Is he? You think he's more like a Dark Knight? I guess he's still more like an Omni type of job, though, right? I mean, of course, the Greatsword. Yeah, it's fair, but I wouldn't really associate Cloud with Dark Knight. But I don't know what I would associate with him with. Yeah, that I agree with. I don't know. I guess I'm looking at like the characters. Like Gunbreaker clearly is Lightning Squall. Clearly, but then you are associating it with the weapon class. I guess Dark Knight aesthetically doesn't seem to me to fit Cloud. At least that's how I look at it. I still don't know why Dark Knight doesn't have a Buster Sword land. Is there a Buster Sword in the game? There isn't one, right? It's because they haven't tapped into the FF7 collab yet. They're holding that out, man. They're definitely saving for the... Yeah, yeah, see? Thunder is Thunder, we're on the same page. They're holding that card for a while. Maybe when part 3 comes out, they'll do it. I missed. You think so? You think that'll be the final card that they'll play? Emergency fund? Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, yeah. He's going to be Midgard. If they tap into Midgard, there's a lot of content that could be there, possibly. Which is how the 7 remake happened, probably, that that button is now a Bloodborne remake. No, we'll be the conduit. Like, 14 will be the conduit of old 7 into new 7. That's how they're gonna twist it. That in-between livestream stuff, that's 14. That was the worst jump I ever did. What have we gotten in game from 7? Minions. Yeah, we got the minions during the bike clam. That was during FanFest. I remember that. Tifa, Aerith, Cloud minion. By the way, pay-to-win bike. Pay-to-win bike. If you didn't know, that bike is pay-to-win, because if you use that bike, in an area where you don't have mount speed increase, it will give you increased mount speed. So like anytime I do like brand new expansion MSQ in a brand new area, I'm busting out the bike because you go faster. And it's just really funny when you're like running past someone who's also doing MSQ and you're clearly going faster than they are. Yeah, it's pay-to-win bike, man. Oh yeah, gold saucer. Yeah, how could you forget the gold saucer? When you can does the bike work in Occult? Does that also work in Occult? I think I remember doing it in Boja. I think it worked in Boja, but I don't remember. It does? That's so funny. That's so funny. There's this one item that's just like ignores mechanics. Are there any iconic enemies from 7? Tonberry? When did the Tonberries first come out? What's an iconic enemy? Sadie, the Diamond, Ruby, all them. Those guys. That entire series of Diamond, Ruby, and the weapons. That's 7. I'm not sure about anything else though. Was Ultima weapon? Is that 7's first in appearance? Not Tonberry. Oh, yeah, I'm really not great with the history of the beastry of Final Fantasy, so I'm not sure where things would have showed up. I think the only thing that sticks out to me was that wasn't it like Chocobos and Sid don't show up till 2? About it. All I can really remember. Oh yeah, Sid definitely wasn't in 1, but I think he probably showed up in 2 and then onward. Wait, if Tonberries are in 5, does that mean there's Tonberries in OC? In Ocean City? But not as an... Oh. Oh, did they continue the story from, like, the whole scholar thing? That was, like, not a bad story. They did, and that was very interesting. That's cool. Okay. There were other ultimate weapons in FF, but the model is 100% the 7-1. Gotcha. Vaguely. The OC Tonberry is very tied to ARR stuff. That's great. See, those little things I think are really nice to see it for sure. So that's nice to see it. Okay. I very, very, very much don't quite remember the story, but I do remember that they had the involvement with that and everything. So I thought that was cool. Bing, bing. Bing. It's one undead, but I'll leave him alone. It's a lot of End for Wander's Palace, etc. references. You love it. I only care about the actual content. I mean, if I was a lore major, maybe. I'm not too much of a lore major. Not like a couple other people, but that would have been a nice compliment to it, but definitely still isn't going to be good enough to pull me into that content. But I do have this hunch feeling. Maybe, again, this might be optimism, but I have this feeling that, like, maybe in the 7.4 patch they add in duels, you know? Which then I would be forced into the content. That gets me in. If they put duels in, I'm in. I'm going to do OC. It's just, I need some type of, like, assurance that it's going to happen. This is fantastic. Very much hoping it's added to the Dungeon War. I gotta check the music. I've heard bits and pieces of it. I want to add it to the playlist. I think definitely songs from there I want to add to the playlist. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I'll do that, next couple days. Maybe tomorrow. Work on that tomorrow. There's a wiki page from all the illusions of FFXIV this by. Ooh, okay. So what you got for 7? The one that always sticks out to me, Sadie, it's in the twinning. There's a lot of FF13 stuff, enemies in there that you see in FF13. Because you don't really see much FF13 except for the one collab, like when the game first released. Which was an interesting choice that you went with Final Fantasy 13 as one of the first collabs in 14. I think maybe 11 was the very first one, and then 13 was the next one. I can't remember why 13 would have been the pick, but it was a choice for sure. The server Wutai refers to the same nation as... Did it? Really? I thought they just pulled that name out of their asses. I mean, don't you guys just call anything Wutai randomly? Big Sweat Jesse? Yes. Whenever I see Mithridates in the, like, 13 mob. Was that a 13 mob? Oh, I forgot about them. The one that stuck out to me was the standing behemoth. You know the behemoths that stood up on their legs and started attacking you? That's the one that stuck out with me. Yeah, Big's Wedge. But is Big's Wedge a 7 reference? Or did they show up somewhere else? Knights of the Round was person... Okay, yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Still waiting for that summon. Speaking of Edge, we're in a bunch of... Okay, Jesse, though? Gotcha. Speaking of Wedge predates 7? Okay. I would have figured so, I just wouldn't remember it. At least one other FF game for Biggs and Wedge. They're also Star Wars reference. They are Star Wars reference, right? Back to the OG. The first time is one of my all-time favorite game memories. Back before YouTube, so you didn't even know what you're about to cast. And then 5 minutes later, it's done. They're in 6, for instance, for starting area. Gotcha. Either a stream or wiki. Could be me. My connection is ass, lady, so my thing keeps going down and up, but, you know. But I don't know if that's gonna cause any issues. Oh, yeah, sure. Remember jumping out from the couch and my brother and I were yelling how cool it was? And nowadays, in current times, you don't have time to sit through that long cutscene, man. You gotta get over and done with. Where's the skip button, right? Garlean magic is Shinra stuff? Yes. That's right, Magitech, yeah. We just haven't had any of the characters show up in 14 yet. Or like an actual area in 14 yet. You skip that shit. Gotta beat the game ASAP and complain about not having it. Yeah, exactly. You know how it goes in this world of ours. Can I just fall into the portal like live? Well, the one that you would look into is like the live stream situation when he goes to the live stream. He just happens to show up here. I'm looking forward to seeing Knights of the Round Remake Part 3. Well, I imagine, Thunder, they're gonna make it a whole side quest and a whole thing. It's either gonna be very, very difficult to get to, or it's gonna be a wild fight. Or both. I mean, they've stayed pretty true to the OG game, so you'd want to think that it's going to be something that's very hard to acquire, but it's going to be worth your time. Takes 5 minutes. Yeah, no, I'm sure it probably will. I'll watch it like once and really just kind of laugh at the whole thing. Hey, I'm interested. I'm invested, man. I want to see what happens, you know? I'm not going to judge it until we see the ending. Hey, Pi Krawrick. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Dum dum dum. Wachong. Oh, there's 2 of them? Well, that's not very nice. Hey, Silver. Dragoon. We haven't done Dragoon in 2.5 years. It was something that chat kind of wanted to see, and I'm like, sure. We haven't done it in a while. So here we go. Hey, Moon Crystal. Thank you for the raid. I'll get you the shout out in a little bit. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome in. If it's your first time here, Angel Stevenus, you are here in my home base, Final Fantasy XIV, doing some Deep Dungeon solo. We help people get the titles, we make guides and everything. We're doing a Dragoon run, coming back to Dragoon after 2.5 years, and going from there. So I hope you had a good stream. Oh, thank you, Will. Oh, I appreciate it, Will. Thanks for that. 7th Imperial Legion leaders reference the antagonists of 7. Nail, Sephiroth with the meteor, and Valen's Hojo with the human experiment thing. Okay. I'll buy that. Welcome in, everybody. Our goal today is 140. Yeah. So we'll be here for a little bit. It was good and no shout out necessary. Nah, man! Gotta give you the shout out. Don't worry about it. Come in here with the raid. Free advertisement. Let's go. There's a lot, but they're all kind of small. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. That's a lot of rooms, so let's go this way. That's a lot of rooms too, but that's a dead end, so I guess I'll go this way. I didn't know transferring data centers would reset deep dungeon scores. Yep. It's in the line with PvP too. Your PvP rankings would reset, but yes, it does. It resets all your scores. Technically, if you really want to dive into the technical part of it in the whole thing, it essentially hides your scores. It doesn't technically reset your scores. And what happens is, from my understanding from other people who've done this, let's say you were to go back to the data center that you originally were in, and you were to put up a score again, your name, I believe, will not show up unless you got a higher score than you did before you left. It's like a phantom thing. Like, it's there, but it won't actually override the score unless it was better than the one you had before. I think that's how that works. I am not about to confirm it unless someone else did, but that's messed up. Right? There's a lot of things messed up with this game. Why things can't just work, it's a mystery to all of us, but that is just how they did the system, you know? I linked the page, but I just checked my internet history, and that wiki was spamming me with... Oh, really? Wow. Did they want your money? Is that what's happening, Sadie? They need to, once again, in order for them to survive the next year, they needed donations from faithful viewers like yourself to stay alive, to live another year. That was going on. I'm not going back to dynamics in this character. Everything is over 90 and no longer have these. That's fair. Hey, you know what? It gives you an opportunity, Boon Crystal, to do it all over again. They gotta make money somehow. That's a respawn. It could just be today though, Sadie. I had a day when my YouTube kept crashing on Opera, and Opera is supposed to be like the chill browser, not like Chrome, which is the hog, that's resource hog. It wasn't the real wiki page. Temu fandom wiki. Oh, I see. Hey Thurin, how you doing? Did I hear, Ruby? Are you typing like a Facebook message at me? That's like a Facebook message. They took away queues in the entire month of June. We now have LGBTQ queues. Nice. I did not hear, but thank you for informing me. I'm tracking down this gravekeeper. Oh, that's a problem. Where's the exit? It's over yonder. Are they all stuck? This is 99. I was gonna possibly do a resolution there, but it's 99, so. How you doing, Ruby? Hope you're having a good day today. Been a while since I did a full solo run again, because I kept getting distracted by other stuff. Okay. Look, Deep Dungeon, the reason why Deep Dungeon to me is so great is because you can wait a while, it's still going to be pretty much the same content. The only time limit that you have right now is 7.3, but it's pretty much just going to be the same content, you know? Nothing to worry about, it'll be here when you get here. Hey Serratic, died at 190. Damn. There was only 6 minutes left when I answered Godfather, so I didn't expect to clear. So wait a minute, did you time out or did you die? Because that's two different things. Because if you timed out, that means it sounds like you got a lot of Godfather practice in, which is huge. But if you just died on Godfather, then I mean, you know, it kind of sucks. But did have a friend get the first group EO run on Nice. Oh, you actually died, dang. Anything you want to talk about it, or if you know what you got to do, or sorry to hear. I think there was a shadow change to ice spikes on the what kind of change are we talking about? Okay, go ahead. Ice spikes applying 30 seconds slow. They always apply to slow. Ice spikes in general has always done that. It's just the opportunity in which that occurs is extremely rare. That's always been around. It's really annoying, but it's always been around. I couldn't tell you if there was a period of time when it wasn't, but from as far as I remember, it's always been in the game. I know you guys were talking about that in Discord recently, but I think it got basically resolved, so it's a really low chance. Yeah, that's not my experience. I'd say it's like 50-50 for me. I get it all the time, and it's really irritating. I was like about to pull up like a bot of it, but I'm like, yeah, you guys handled it. It's fine. I think it happened to me as of recently on the Reaper run that I did, what, 2 weeks ago? So you tested on several events on Wednesday and it never happened to you? I have it happen all the time. I'm so paranoid, especially on Machinist, that when, like, if I were to stop the Void Blizzard, that I wouldn't do another hit, but I always do another hit. Here. That's what Steel on. You only have like 3 or 4 auto attacks occur during that time. And allegedly the application was like 20%. Hey, yeah, I don't know what the... That's fair. I don't know what the actual application of it was, but... Did I just dump my resolution? I'm an idiot. Whatever. Now we're just gonna have to deal with this, because I don't want to use another one. I wasn't paying attention. Although that floor set sucked for gold offers, 4 floors of affluence, and I kept getting bronze. Yeah, that's a very typical 181. And that's one of the things I complained about back in the day, that like you would never get gold chests. But I think the game plan sporadic for that is just, you just have to have a good 171. When you walk in with really good palms, and you just hope that they last you as long as possible. I mean, I remember I had a ninja run one time, sporadic. I never saw steal the entirety of 181, and I had like... I think I had 1 steal going into 181, and I never saw a steal. I had to hold on to that 1 steal for dear life until Godfather. We made it, just... You know, it took a lot in me to make that happen. You're not dying, really? Hello? Alright. Alright. I hate, sometimes I really hate Windows. Okay. Yeah, I get it, I know. You did a great job screenshotted it. I didn't need you to tell me that. Okay. It's a common problem. It's, okay. So one thing, let me pause the music for a second. One thing that sometimes people get caught up on in Deep Dungeon, which I see all the time, even as of recently with a couple runs, and in Heaven on High, and any Deep Dungeon or whatever. When you start seeing, especially streamers who are doing it for the first time, when they start getting to the high floors, and every time I hear the word, oh my god, it's so unlucky, oh my god, why is this happening, the luck is so bad. A lot of the situations that happens is because you kind of created a situation for bad luck to happen, right? You hit a luring trap. Sure, it's bad luck, but what was the actual luck dice roll? Well, it could have been Otter, it could have been another trap, but it happened to be a luring trap. But you could have controlled that by not hitting the trap. If you do like double aggro, if you take 2 enemies at once, like that's... Yeah, okay, you made a mistake with your observation, but that could have been controlled, right? So from the runs I've done as of the past couple of years, I've never actually ever felt like 181 was unfair to me. The only time it was unfair is if the debuffs are bad or the chimeras are completely out of control. But I never felt like the palms were bad. It's just like a typical 181 for me. But I know exactly how you're feeling like, because that is exactly how I felt when I was first progging it way back in the day. That 181 felt completely unfair. You never got anything back. But, you know, over time, what I had learned, it was just that you just had to have a really good previous set. If your really good previous set was there, you can kind of, you know, kind of crawl your way through to the end of the floor without using too much and optimize the palms there, and you'll make it even if you don't pick up a lot. So it's a little bit of a mindset thinking, but for the newer player, it's not uncommon to feel like that. But I guess the best thing I can tell you is just that as you get better and better with the content, it will start feeling less and less like that. And it isn't that there isn't anything that the game is changing. There isn't anything that, you know, you're not technically getting better RNG or worse RNG. You, in fact, are getting better. And that's how it comes down to it. And that's where the progress starts showing up. Game mode hasn't changed in like 9 years. So, I mean, it's nothing has changed with the RNG. So it's really just how you approach it that you will get that improvement. You go into 81 with good palms because you can't expect them to get them back. What Ross said is a decent attitude to have as well. I think I don't necessarily go in with that attitude. It's more like I'm still running through that set, trying to use the minimal I can to get through. So I know I've messed up my runs in 99 timeouts in EO and Heaven on High because of mistakes in 71 from bad item usage or holding on to the bad times when I would have... Yeah, once you start recognizing that with what Silver said, it's huge. Because like I said, a very, very common thing, which I don't hear as often anymore, it's that people will be like, man, 81 Heaven on High is so hard. Everything hits so hard. I'm running out of time. I can't even get to the boss. But a lot of those explanations, it technically can be solved by having a better 71. Like, you literally can do exactly what you're doing in 81, like, to this point. Like, nothing changes with what you're doing with 81. You just walk in with better stuff, and it completely changes how you approach the whole run. So once you have that realization, you start looking back and, like, you know, making sure that you're getting through with, like, a kind of a minimal amount of palms and resources, then it kind of helps. My palm situation, 2 strength, 2 steel, 1 lust, 2 flight, 1 rage, and the rest are capped. That's not bad. I would say that's pretty standard. 1 less is fine. 1 rage was 1 less than you'd want to have, but that's still fine. Had to blow 2 of them to make sure I could clear Behemoth and was close. Gotcha. 1 rage in is really rough. Yeah. Sorry for fighting a stupid Heaven on High boss, but there's a reason a lot of veteran runners jokingly call Bronze Alley. Yeah, we don't joke about that. It's true. Anyway, I hope that made sense. But yeah, obviously there is still actual prog you need to do in 181. You know, and you want to recognize things that may have gone wrong. You want to do better. Blah blah blah. So. I think a lot of people think 181 is the hardest set, but it's really because you spent too much on 171. It's a little bit of a snowball effect, because you also want to get through 181 without spending too much too. Because then that makes 191 a lot harder. Of course, it's not a guarantee, but 191 is... You know what's a good way to describe 191? Like, 91 Heaven on High is definitely a slot machine. Like a huge slot machine. You can walk in with nothing and clear. You can walk in with everything and still run out of time. I would say 191 Palace of Dead is like an under 18 slot machine, where it's still a slot machine, but it's not as brutal, because you can walk in with a lot and still get your butt kicked. But more than likely you can walk in with almost nothing and still try to possibly clear. Like, it's possible. It's a little bit lighter, but it's hard. But it's possible. It was my first time there, so it was a fun experience. Yes, erratic. I just hope you had a good look at Godfather. Like, that would be the big win. If you didn't, I mean, it is what it is, right? But hell yeah, dude. I wish you the best of luck. I mean, getting past Behemoth is massive too. And by the way, it being the first time with the palm loadout that you had, amazing. Very good. Like Suat said, having the 1 rage is rough. You kind of look at that as something you want to try to hopefully get to, but you got there. So, I mean, if that's your benchmark, then you just work on the benchmark now. But the other thing, going back to what I said about making your own luck, putting yourself in bad situations. You see a lot of people hopping steals for fights they didn't need to because of the lack of confidence experience, and by E4 they'll be complaining about no steals. Defaulting to Raging Treasury when the key is on the closest corner and sound. Yeah, that's true. I've definitely had recent situations here where I was expressing the fact that, like, I bet people would have raged here, or I bet people would have done something differently. But instead we managed to just hold the resource. Oh yeah, what is it, Summoner? Oh, I didn't do a clip of that. I gotta do a clip of that one. When we stepped into 3 luring traps unintentionally and I made it out with like 1 witching. Yeah, those are things that kind of separate, you know. I was curious how fast Dark Knight does Godfather with no remedy bombs. I was looking at my Gunbreaker bot, and Gunbreaker killed it with 2 lusts in 640 with bad uptime. You're curious as in you did it, or you're curious as in I hope someone else does it? 642 lusts and you take all the remedy bombs? That's pretty cool. But it's not surprising for Gunbreaker, to be fair. Gunbreaker does dish out the damage. I'm stuck at Behemoth on a Warrior, just don't seem to be able to do it. Yo, Kipina. Kipina, if you want to talk about it more, if you want to get into detail about what you think, first thing I'll toss out there is if you have a VOD, if you actually recorded yourself doing it, or if you want to record yourself doing it in the future, especially Behemoth, that is one thing that myself or anyone else in the community can very, very easily identify something you could have done better. Now, like, the floor climbs are kind of subjective. You know, each person's going to give, like, a different suggestion about how to get through a floor and whatever, but Behemoth is a set rotation. And arguably speaking, if you do the rotation as perfectly as possible, you should clear on Warrior. Once you start making mistakes on anything, it starts to crumble. And Warrior can afford, like, maybe 2 mistakes, but after that, it's going to be GG because you made too many. So if there's something that maybe you're identifying or you're not sure, like, you're more than happy to ask that question. We could help figure it out. I mean, also, Kipina, like, I mean, nerves are a thing too. So I mean, if you're just nervous on it, that's hard to help. It's like, just don't be nervous. I mean, why can't that be the fix? I mean, tell that to someone who has high anxiety. Just be less anxious. Forehead. I mean, that's a factor that is hard to find an answer for. Like, I still want to dive into that deeper at one point, but the problem is the push. Okay. Are you pushing, like, are you getting it to do Meteor too early or something? Or, like, you're just unsure about how to approach it? Are those things that are happening on your end? Just don't be anxious? Well, like, you know, calm down. Kate, calm down. Dude, just chill. What's wrong with you? Dungeon's pretty fun. Deep Dungeon. It is fun. I have less fun in EO, though. I have a file I'm setting up for Dark Knight to try. Okay, keep us posted, Snake. Oh yeah, when I told you about Behemoth on Saturday, you asked if I downloaded it so I can record. Okay, nice, Serratic. Okay, cool. Yeah, and Serratic, keep in mind also, like, not just Behemoth or something. If you record a floor set, I mean, look, you could DM it to me if you want to, or toss it up in Discord. I mean, people will give you really, really good advice. And also, especially if it's a floor set, take all the advice with a grain of salt. Not to say that they're bad advice, but advice on a floor set, you gotta think of it as guidelines, not rules. Because people will have different ways of having success. And you basically just hear what everyone has to say and take the best thing that works for you. That would be the best approach whenever you get information on a floor set or a palm loadout. That you just basically take the ones you like and see what one works for you, because it comes down to playstyle as well, what you're used to. Can I review one of your sets? Sure. You know, you can always do that. What the hell? EO, I prefer DPS overall. Yes, Sam, I kind of prefer DPS too. Next time I'm in there, I'm gonna turn on the music and try to keep my cool BGM off. Kipina, the amount of times I've heard people actually say that so I prefer to have Revenge twofold because it pumps me up, it puts me in the mind frame. I've gotten used to it. I've heard from people that music creates too much hype, that they are too excited, that they are too amped up, that it actually causes them to be too nervous. So they turn it off. They put on like lo-fi, you know, or some favorite song of theirs, like something that just they jive well with, and that's totally a thing. Anything that can help, whatever can help, anything that can help, you just gotta do it, even if it sounds silly, right? Lock your door if you're living with other people. Hide the animals. You know, have a diffuser going or something. You know, whatever works. No one's gonna judge as long as you get through. That's really all that matters. And if you do something weird, definitely tell me because I would love to. I'd love to keep it in mind as something that you know possibly can share because you're not gonna be the first. You're not gonna be the last to have something that is just going to help you out. You know. And those are probably the best stories, too. It's just annoying last time I had time for 2 attempts and failed anyways. It's okay, you chalk it up to experience. As much as it sucks, you now went through that, you have it clearly bothering you, and you'll just do better next time. Whether the results show it or not, you're more experienced. And Deep Dungeon is definitely about experience. The more you see it, the more you get better at it. And I think the learning in this content is so good because, look, you're by yourself and it sucks to lose on your own, right? It's just, you have no one else to blame but yourself and you kind of don't want to do it again, so you're going to learn, you're going to figure something out. And, hey, that's why you're asking the question now, right? You just want to find something that might help you, so... But if anything, Kipina, I also, if you haven't been looking at VODs, be sure to definitely look up other people's pushes. I actually had someone on YouTube asking me for my most recent Warrior run, which I had some as of last year, and they're all still valid. And, you know, those are going to be good to check out if you just need another look. Maybe something you were just missing, some action that you were just you know, not doing correctly, and compare notes and see if you can execute it that way. So anything that can help you out, whatever it might be, we will delve in and help it out. That's the thing that I always kind of enjoy. It's just finding some way that will click for someone, you know? That's the learning process. Play Viper? Play Healer. Why not Healer? What happened to Healer? Oh, I don't know why I'm going over here. I just have to go over here. When I was trying Gunbreaker Palace of the Dead, I did a 180 push right the first 2 times and failed 2 times back to back and finally cleared on my 5th run. Wow, the pullback, let's go. Speaking of Behemoth, says Thunder, are there any recommended guides for Bard? My last one barely made the push and I'm nervous about doing it again. We had someone recently in Discord do it. I don't know if they streamed it though, but I don't have a recent Bard one, so I can't help you. My last Bard was still when we did Resolution, and I believe the popular strategy now is no Resolution. I know OmniRoss has it. I don't know if he uploaded it in his channel or something. OmniRoss has one. So you can check with Ross if he has a VOD that he can share. I just don't know. I don't know streaming wise who's done it recently. But then you all rip. I feel that in my soul, dude. I had a Black Mage run where I thought I was playing like so good, and then I just promptly died 191. Any melees have a pretty straightforward 180, to be honest. Like I've done Reaper 180 without Bloodbath. You're too good for me, Willow. You're way too good of a player now. Unstoppable. 1 button presses after the first meteor side from regular rotation. I have some bots in my Discord, and a separate 180 push by itself. Yeah, okay, there we go. Snack has one. If that helps. Legit, just forgot my raising and pulled double pulled. Oh no! Bro, people still do that, of course, to this day. I try to do my checks. It's a benefit to streaming it, though. People will actually backseat you there. That's like the one backseat that you always want to get. Raising check. Someone just posted an accomplishment double 2 recently that they did bard first try no resolution. The no resolution bard is kicking in high gear, Ross. No reso has been done a few times recently, but I don't think anybody... has really analyzed how many procs, etc. you need to pull it off, but it looks like... I spent it. I just spent it already. More reasonable than it used to be. I think, wait. When was my most recent bard? Was it the one when we did the collab with Miss Velvet? Yes? 6.48. I don't recall if this was when I did resolution, but that was the second time I did bard. Okay, well you can check this one out. It's free advertisement for Velvet the Prodigy, so if you want to check that one out. I'll put it on YouTube as well, just so you guys can see it if you want to see it. It was when I did bard, and Miss Velvet was on the piano playing Revenge Twofold live while we were doing that run. That was one of the coolest things. That was so cool. I've always dreamed of, I mean, of course that was in a little bit of a smaller scale, but I did always have a dream of, like, playing a video game, Snack, but having live music playing in the background, you know? Like a live band or a live orchestra as you're playing the game. They did that for AGDQ, when they did Crazy Taxi, they had a live band for that. That was awesome. But I don't know if mine is a good example, but we did clear, so I just don't know what you're getting from that one. I just don't remember what that run entailed, if I did a reso or not. I feel like I did do a reso, but I don't remember. Dancer 180, I did perfect the first time. I died in 194, but I kept screwing up recently. I reclimbed. Well, I was suggested to do Dancer after Dragoon, so 2 weeks from now we'll start up Dancer. I'll make a return to Dancer. Never returned that job after seeing Ross's Uh-oh. Ross, what did you do? How did you traumatize these people? My success rate on hard pushes is pretty good, and I screw up the easy shit. I failed Machinist one a couple months ago. It happens, man. I mean, I failed Red Mage on Behemoth semi-recently, so I mean, you know, it happens. Summoner Sage! Hey, Nemi. Hey, Summoner Sage. Rich has summoned here. Us here to send you love. Rich, hey, I appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you had a good stream over at Summoner Sage's stream. I'm Andrew's Demoness. Welcome in. If it's your first time here, I do a lot of Deep Dungeon solo. We do a lot of variety as of recently. Currently playing through Tinkerlands on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday if you want to see me play a different game. But on the Mondays, we do 14, and we do Deep Dungeon. We make the guides, we help people get the titles over here, and we are currently doing a Palace of the Dead Dragoon run. I have not done Dragoon in 2.5 years, and we are now back on Dragoon, so welcome. How was your stream? Aw, Nemi's good people. I appreciate it. How was 14 for you? What are you up to? You doing some occults? You doing some MSQ? Uno called, super fun. Good to hear it. That's what I've been hearing from most people. I have elected to skip occult because it doesn't have duels. Like I'm very simple. No duels, I'm out. So, but I've heard from lots of people they've been having a blast with it. So it's good to hear it. You've also walked into to the chat, kind of reminiscing on their bard, dancer, and machinist Palace of the Dead experiences. So that's what you kind of walked into. My first red mage attempt died in 180. My reference research used strength, and I was doing the push without strength, so my Vercure... Yes! When I did a no-sustaining red mage 180, I found out the very hard way that if you don't have strength on and no sustaining, you tap out of NP. Not the greatest way to find that out, because you can't even recover it after that. I'm doing Machinist, no steel run except for bosses. I'll be attempting my first 180 no strength Machinist push for being some strength. Probably die trying there. Good luck. I mean, we did a no sustain Machinist except for bosses. That was a lot of fun, so I imagine it's going to be a very similar situation. I got to 190 on red mage and proceeded to have my Vercure interrupt and die. Love that. It happens. The second part of OC hasn't been added yet, so that's what I'm thinking, Ashigar. I'm being a little optimistic, and maybe in the second part you see duels, but I still will not touch the content until it's announced like that. And then I'll make a big push to catch up. But on my weekly this week, I caught myself down at 1500 MP just in time to hit Lucid. Dang. Like you forgot to hit it, or it just came back up? Really? Just forgot? I think it's like one of those things where when you understand that it's a threat, you'll be better about it. But until you see that it's actually gonna go low like that, it doesn't come to your mind, which is fair. What is this? Oh, strength. Okay. And also, Summoner Sage, if you have any anything to do post-stream, whatever you gotta do, you can just go on, head on off. I understand. We all understand it. And I appreciate you bringing the crew over here. And our goal here is 140. To clear 140, so we'll be here for maybe another hour or two. We'll keep everyone company. As my connection continues to suffer, I'm having quite a bit of connection issues past couple of days, so it's been irritating. I'm already in not the greatest of moods, so have to dealing with this is not helping the situation. So, but we continue. Bam, bam, bam. And by the way, anyone new out there who doesn't know too much about Deep Dungeon or is looking at their first runs, this is definitely, I would like to say, the place to be. We focus in on soloing the content. You have lots and lots of community members who are very, very good at the content as well, so it isn't just coming from me. But if you're ever interested in this, and I know we're getting back into the phase of Final Fantasy XIV streamers doing achievement hunting, and at some point you're going to land on this content because it is an achievement that can be obtained. So if there ever becomes a time when you do reach that as well, we'll help you out. We'll get you one of the hardest titles in all of Final Fantasy XIV. No problem. It'll take some time, but we'll get you there. I've been doing this content forever. So, I know a thing or two about what you gotta do here. Man, that reminds me I need to play more X33. Play more X33. I always wanted to do Deep Dungeons, but haven't gotten the opportunity. Don't worry. Deep Dungeon usually actually gets popular when content is in the quote-unquote content drought. People start running out of things to do, then they dive into here, they get stuck here for months. Not to mention you have another Deep Dungeon coming in a couple months, so that's also important to note. And that's something that we're all, I'm preparing for. And I'm very excited for it. That's me, the Achievement Hunter. Hell yeah, Demi. I'm the Godfather. Are you saying I jiggle with physic mechanics? I can confirm that this is a great place for me for clearing DD14. I have completed Palstead Solo 1 to 200. I popped up in the chat blaming me for the clear. That is fair. That is exactly what had happened. Can confirm. Can confirm. Hey Cthulhu's. Steal. I want that steal. It's true. He slapped the shit out of mods and doesn't even give us steals first. I can't even deny this. I can't even say anything about that. Looking at my 7th month here. Hell yeah. Serratic, you are getting so close, dude. I love the journey. I love watching people. Like, I still remember a handful of people who, like, literally, they're like in the chat, they're asking me questions. It almost sounds like they've never played the game before. You know? Like it's their first time playing the game, let alone Deep Dungeon. They're asking the simplest questions, and they're like struggling. And then a couple months later, they come back, they get the clear, and you just see the confidence just like freaking oozing out of them, you know? The excitement, just the way they carry themselves, it's like they're a completely different person. It's so cool to see it. You'll love it. Hell yeah, dude. A lot of people love to do that. It's even, you know what's even cooler is when I'm not even doing 14 and people still do that. Love it. I love when people do that. I do not feel ashamed at all. I may not be doing 14, but I still love to talk Deep Dungeon. I just hope you enjoy the content, that's all. I think I flighted this, I don't remember. No, I probably did flight it because the amount of enemies that's here. Wouldn't have gotten any clear if not for all the bots, probably. Huh? The wins and the fails are all there. Whatever information is needed. I'll hold it 1 second there. I think I'll have strength for the boss, which is good. Alright, let's go. I need to refill my water. Everyone hydrate. I'll always say, there was a machinist bot of you disconnecting 197. That bot was just as helpful as the guide since it showed Nasty Forest versus the guide. I think that was the run that was supposed to be a guide. So we had to do the guide all over again, I think. If I remember correctly, that was supposed to be the guide. Yeah, that sucks. It sucks. It's like trying to do the live guide is difficult. Like it's not something I could definitely do every single stream, you know? Not to mention the format that we do it now, I kind of start ignoring chat unless you ask me a question about the actual run. But it is pretty exhausting. It's just to have to go through the process of explaining everything. It's not that I don't like it, it's just, again, to do it every single time, it's gonna get... I'm gonna get tired of it. So to have to go all the way that high just to do it all over again, it's pretty rough. Right here. Oh, I didn't do it right. I didn't do my jump. What the hell, man? Someone might find something useful in one of my 4 bar attempts or something. Yeah, you never know. You know, it was Aurora Moon that convinced me to keep my fails, because there was a period of time where I will only upload whenever we cleared. But it was Aurora Moon who told me, no, dude, I've been consuming your fails, because that is the one that keeps me sane. It's the one that shows me how to get through what you can with limited resources. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So we just upload everything. Fail, disconnect, especially the, you know, I think the disconnected ones are probably the biggest ones too that are huge, that are going to be useful to people. Because, you know, the sense of defeat that everyone feels when you get disconnected. But I think when you know and you see that it happens to, like, literally everyone, I mean, not that it lessens the blow, but it probably does make you feel a little better. It's like, it isn't just you. Like, we suffer through it all the time too, you know? Watching her pull out some stuff in class opened my eyes to what I can do in actual... Yeah, that moment of, like, just think about doing it on a regular job. Yep. Do anything reminds me constantly, I still have far... We all still have far to go, man. There are no limits. You know how they say the sky's the limit? You know what? Aim for the stars. Not the sky, aim for the stars. Alright. Okay, I gotta hit an ad here, so we'll do an ad right now, 3 minutes, and then we will return. 30 more floors to go, maybe 2 more ads, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, we're gonna step into 111 coming up next. BRB. I love content creators to keep their fails because it's authentic, shows that they're human. Yeah. I prefer not to hide anything, so you'll just see everything as is, whatever it might be, you know. And yeah, I subscribe to that personally. That's why I never minded having to ram my head against the wall when we're trying to prog something, whether it takes 4 hours, whether it takes 9 hours. I mean, look, when I did the secret boss in Expedition 33, it took me 9 hours of prog on stream to finally beat it. 9 hours of that thing, but it was fun. I had a good time. Just the time flew by. Arcadian chauffeur. What up, Vulagen? Fear the name. That's what I want to have happen in the next deep dungeon. I want to be stuck for days, months on something that I'm trying to prog. Like, to me, that's exciting. I did that on the beach up. Oh, that's a disgusting trap. Oh, rage. Okay. And a steel. No traps in hallways. Still aren't traps in hallways, that's right. Perfect time for me to join the stream. I finally started my first attempt on Necromancer. 111 on a Warrior. I was looking for things to watch out for. Okay. Toads. Watch out for toads. The patrols, the giant toads. Make sure your back is not faced to them. Or your flank. Make sure you have a staring contest with them until they're dead. Watch out for cobras and traps. Watch out for slimes. You know, this is actually a common flaw, Dave, that you may actually watch people, even the veterans, raising here. I know of a couple people who've been doing this content very long, and they still raising this floor because of all the shenanigans that can happen here. So it's something to consider. It's not, you know, definitely no shame in doing that. I don't typically raising here, but I usually play a pretty cautious route, so it shouldn't be a problem, but... If you're scoring? I think I do too. I think I would raising the set if I'm scoring. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If it's someone first time in the set. I wonder if I did set that in the guide. I must have said that in the guide. This set scares you, Penguin King? It can be a very spicy set. It's just far in enough that I don't want to reset. I saw someone say, if it's your first time on the floor set user raising, I took that to heart. Yeah. And I would not go against that recommendation. It's a really good idea. Honestly, like, reality of the matter is if you're progging, especially in 101+, you should honestly probably raising every set. I mean, especially if it's your very first time, especially if you've never done a deep dungeon before, if Palace is your very first one, don't feel ashamed about raising from like 101, 111, 112, 121, so on and so forth, because you wanna see more. That's the best thing you want to do for yourself. You want to see more, not see less. And the experience goes such a long way, too. I've done PoTD in groups of 200 before, but never solo. Honestly, I'm happy to get that. Yeah, no, that's very good. That's exceptionally good. I mean, 100 is hard, 90 is hard. Getting through 1 to 50 is hard, and, you know, it's... We try to make it look easy, but it's the same thing. Like, it is hard content. So, you definitely should be proud about that. Oh, it's funny in OC, there's a 150 boss model as a Fate, and she casts an untelegraphed Dark Mist. I was the only one who just started running away. But it's the same thing, right? It's the same Dark Mist ability. Does it also do, like, Terror as well? It's so amazing to see all the Deep Dungeon monsters, like monsters, the casting Dark too. Knowledge goes very far. And I would want to think that you guys are gaining knowledge from OC will probably help you into Deep Dungeon 4, which is going to give you advantage over me. I definitely did a lot more content in Endwalker than I did in Dawntrail. I won't have too many references to be able to pull my information from. Draws you in and you get hit with an AoE, gotcha. To the void stuff, it seems. Space is very Palace-esque. I'm sure Deep Dungeon 4 will be very connected. Chat. Oh, you know what? We can do a poll. That's even better. Let's do a poll. Hold on. Question. No. Okay. We'll do a poll. So, poll in the top of chat. Do you think Deep Dungeon 4 is related to Occult or not? Because I think that's a very good question. I don't have enough context to provide my own answer. I can see that it's connected, but at the same time, I can see that they're just going to go in a completely different direction, so... I've heard wild suggestions as far as like, oh, maybe you have to go through Occult to access Deep Dungeon. Also fair. I think if I were to put money down, if I had to put money down, I would say it has nothing to do with Occult. If I had to put money down. But I wouldn't necessarily be angry that it is. Although, again, I'd have to do the content, which is the problem, but whatever. I want Deep Dungeon to be a big purple thing in the Electric Zone. You want it to be, like, within Solution 9? These are, by the way, Dave, these are the ones you want to watch out for. About 30 to 32 seconds in, they will explode. For a DPS, these guys are fine. For a tank, it could get a little spicy because your damage may not be up to par. But these are sound, so you can just avoid them. I typically just avoid them, honestly. You think you're going to have to do OC to do it? Really? I play with a friend who does Deep Dungeon, he did the same. It's a mix of things because of lore. When you pull the slime in the blind floor, miss. Yes, also, yeah. What Willow said is very true too. Blind floors can be a little detrimental if you pull these, because you will miss damage, especially on a tank. The big purple lightning area in the southeast of the electric zone. I didn't do my water. No, no Alligan. I'm done with Alligans. No, it doesn't have to be Alligan. Stop. I think it's some curveball like the extra zone in Azula. I don't want Alligans, man. I had enough of the Alligans not putting music in the stupid Deep Dungeon. We gotta get back to like the Necromancer actually caring about quality of life, you know what I mean? Every Alligan Deep Dungeon doesn't have music in between floors. Too bad. Look, I'm still holding out for Amaurot, okay? Or the FF11 wildcard Deep Dungeon that's related to FF11, but I'm still holding out for Amaurot. As Warrior, should I be collecting to it? No, you don't have to. Honestly, you can get through, Dave, without AoEing on Warrior, period. You don't have to AoE at all. That is not necessary. That's a healer thing, that is not a tank thing. You can get through with one pull at a time. 6 people said no. There you go. That's the vote. 1 person said yes, which I guess was Ashigar. So there's your answer. No, not Occult. Get out of here. I would be fine with it if it's Occult. Just give me enough time to prepare. That's all I ask for. When you think of Alize channeling the voice of the player in the one cutscene, oh please don't tell me. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Religion. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Not again. Alligans were before elevator music was a thing. Well, they gotta get their stuff in order and look at the updates. Oh, well. Okay. I like Ascians over Alligans. Like, come on, you've met it. Yeah, hopefully they completely move away from Alligans. Maybe do it later, but not now. Palace of Occult dead too. Yeah, what if it's Palace of the Dead Reborn? Would that be insane? Just with 100 kits? That'd be boring. That would be lazy, but I mean I'll still have fun with it. It'll just be lazy. Yeah, what's up, Zevran? No, it's happening. 7.3 is Deep Dungeon. It's just we don't know when it is in 7.3, and we don't really know when 7.3 is, but it's basically been all but... We have everything up until a name. We just don't know a name. You can expect the next live letter to talk about it. Next live letter will be what you want to look for. And I will try to go live when the live letter happens, so we can be there for the announcement. Somehow Nybeth returned, yeah. We know it's 3.35. Yeah, look. My money goes on 0.35. It's just, again, it's a translation, right? So you look at the translation of the Famitsu interview that they did concerning the topic. It is just curious that they refer to 7.3 as the Deep Dungeon patch. Like you know what I would refer 7.3 as? The Alliance patch. I wouldn't call it the Deep Dungeon patch, and they called it the Deep Dungeon patch, so take that as you will. But there isn't any history leading us to believe that Deep Dungeon wouldn't be in 7.35 in the halfway point. Like, there's nothing for us to think that it's going to be otherwise. But they haven't gone and explicitly said it, that's the thing. Too bad they weren't regular when it comes to adding variant criterion in 0.2 this patch. True. Has there been a variant criterion at all in this expansion? I guess that's what you just said. Yeah, and it's leveling content. And that's what's going to be interesting, because think about the past of 14 at the moment, right? Bring it all the way back to Heaven on High and Eureka. Essentially, this is like a Heaven on High Eureka situation. But, where Heaven on High was the leveling dungeon, and Eureka just existed. But then you had Boja, which was used as the leveling thing because Deep Dungeon didn't exist. And then you had Eureka Orthos as supposedly the leveling thing, but there wasn't a field op. But Eureka Orthos, you can still argue the quality of life of that content in terms of actually using it for leveling. And you wonder if, like, Eureka Orthos was there to be the leveling thing, and they just... maybe it didn't go so well. Hey, Mandon, thank you for the 1 year of support. I appreciate that. Thank you for continuing to support the stream. That's huge. But then to now exclusively say, like, this is going to be the place that you want to level... it's interesting. Definitely B91 plus. I'm still hoping for the wild card of it being 1 to 100. The really true leveling experience. It'll be good for all levels. It'll be the hub. From beginning to end of where you want to level your class. Time to nut up and make the common queue floors worse. Make it even harder to get that XP. What if they attach bonuses to XP based on how you clear it? What if you get a bonus XP for killing all the enemies and for a kill count? And what if you get bonus XP for doing it fast? Now we're talking. But then we'll start to get elitism, but I think it'll still be funny. Like, you can actually have both spectrums, where, like, you can actually take a party that's going to be really slow and sit in and kill everything and get a kill count. Or have a team that's going to go in for a speedrun and get, like, the same amount of XP, so you can actually cover both bases. No, I don't know about a chain. It's just that in Deep Dungeon you record the kill count, right? So at least you can just use that as a number. You don't really need a chain. It's just you just record a number of the kills. But you definitely don't want to, like, have it in one faction. You want to cover all the bases. So if someone wants to go more chill in the content to level, then you still get the same or equal a very similar amount. Three times XP when solo? Maybe, yeah, maybe. Bonus XP for leftover palms? Oh man, imagine. They'll never do that, right? That sounds so cool though, but they'll never do that. You probably don't want to think about the toxicity of having to do performance, which is fair. I mean, there is always going to be toxicity when you have to deal with a performance-based thing, but if you cover all the types of performances, I mean, you know, hey, what if you get bonus XP for not dying? Well, that could be bad. People can grief pretty hard. I can see people griefing pretty hard. Boom, 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 boom. Two steals, huh? And that's the exit. Alright, noted. Steals forever. Sorry if anyone doesn't have steals anymore, I took them all. My apologies. Score threshold, more XP, imagine. Really? That's so delayed. I don't even have a stun. Order title should have been based on how many palms you had and whether you died and completed Deep Dungeon. That'd be pretty funny. It's alright. In Deep Dungeon 4, you get another title for 4,000 intuition. It'll be fine. For 40,000, sorry. Whatever that'll be. It'll be a Cursed Horde. It'll be the two titles put together. For the final one. 50k? Whatever dumb number they decide to pick. Okay. Okay, now I have stun. The question is something I want to add to my toolkit. What's the macro for end transformations? Willow's got you. I'll visually show you what I have. Hold on. No. Here we go. Status off trans. The one that Willow typed in, but that's how I have it in mine. Status off transfiguration. So. Very useful macro. Very useful macro. This one. You've been right-clicking for days? It's all good. Sometimes it's the little things that matters. Right-clicking off is great right until you click off the first. Yeah, that's what happened to me. And I wasn't clicking, but I was using the UI to go into here. And what happens is for me, is if I do a sustaining potion... Can I demonstrate here? Oh yeah, I can demonstrate here. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, let me show you how this works. So like see my sustaining potion now, it's at 20 seconds, right? So there are situations, and I had this happen in like Godfather and bosses because you're so focused in on everything. So if I put the cursor here, and this is like more controller situation. So if I put the cursor here, and I don't realize that this thing was about to take off, look where the cursor is going to be after this thing, right? Let's say I hit it right now. I take off the strength by accident. Oh, that could also happen with the mouse as well, that you don't realize you're at 0 seconds, and then you went to click it, and you actually clicked off the other thing because organically the thing had already gone off. And that's the same situation with transformations and everything. Or you might double click or something like that. And the sustaining potion, if the sustaining potion's there and it's like in front or something from the transformation, that causes the things to like shift over. That's why it can be a problem. So that's something that, you know, it just mitigates it. It's a macro that's going to be good for everyone, not just like, you know, controller gamers or keyboard gamers like myself. It's really good for people also on keyboard mouse. I mean, it isn't to say you don't have, like, you can not click. I mean, you can very well click if you want to, but it's about the quality of life. Removing as many variables that can ruin the run as possible. I didn't do that right. There's another chest here that I didn't check. Where's the chest? Oh, I guess it's hidden over there. I'm not gonna go over there. By the way, thanks to everyone bearing with me with the connection. I've been eyeing my speed this entire stream, and it has just not been stable. But I mean, it's workable. But it's probably not like the quality's probably meh. Maybe a little staticky, but we're chugging along. If this is gonna stay like this, you'll probably expect it in tomorrow's stream, but I will probably look for a tech to come in on Thursday, which is my next free day, and see. Because a problem like this, like, they should see it. I'm just hoping, like, they fix it on their own. That's why I'm delaying it, and as long as I can manage it, it's like, okay, I mean, maybe I can just, like, survive right now, but that's where I'm at right now. I see any pack loss on your end. Sometimes some speed tests actually show. I need to find a speed test that will show me packet loss. I don't think there is packet loss, but I'm unsure. More so with the upload. I mean, I'm not feeling it in game, but my download is fine. It's just the upload. Remember one of my streams that you were talking about how tech has to come out? Yeah. And it has to come out again because the guys in the phone are not great, so. Dark Gigas, thanks for the 23 tier 1, I appreciate that. Almost 2 years of supporting the channel. Thank you so much for that support. It goes a long way to continue what we are doing here, so thank you for that. I hope you're doing well. There's one I found top of Google. It says pretty good and accurate. My speeds are all about the show. What's the name of it? Slow showed packet loss and jitter. What's the name of the thingy? Was it a browser app or do I have to download something? Calm? Okay. I guess calm speed test? It was browser? Okay, okay. I'll note that down in between floors. I don't want to do the test now because my connection is so fragile. But I'll probably do it post-stream. I feel like if I do a speed test right now, I will disconnect the stream. Which is less than ideal. Just a little less than ideal. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put it and note it down and check it post-stream. Okay. You bypassed it. Oh, because you're VIP, that's why. Maybe that's why you bypassed it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what my settings are. Okay, I'm gonna take an actual break here. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stretch. Guys, hydrate, stand up, stretch yourself. We'll get some ads out of the way. Probably the last ad on the stream. And then we will continue on the last 20 floors. We will park this at 140 so that next Monday we can do 141 plus. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for all the chatter. It's been great conversation so far. And I'll see you in a little bit. BRB. That's wrong. That's right. Alright, let's continue. 121 up. Coming in. Do. Great. Yeah, it's not gonna be in time. Almost! Ugh. Almost got it. I get the strength back though. Hey-oh. Gonna have to live with the pox for a little bit now. Sights. I don't need the safety. Isn't it weird that site just doesn't clear? The most common thing for everyone to say. Isn't it weird? I never ever thought about it until you guys started saying something. So I guess so. OC has some interesting text and some abilities that say guaranteed hit. Could use some of that in here. What about a Pomander that guarantees hits? Means I have to fight a Beist? I don't wanna. Oh, I have Steel though. One enchantment. We need new ones badly. We need a lot of new things refreshed in the content badly, in my opinion. Bomb that increases dodge chance to 100%. Use that on a blind foil would be awesome. Oop, nope. Okay, good. We will get one new enchantment, and all it will do is prevent us from using the next version of the Mega. You gotta think more optimistically, Ross. Be more positive. I mean, I would enjoy that, Nemi. We could use more Gamba. Uh-oh, my bitrate's low as hell. Make it. Come on, you can make it. I believe in you. Okay. It went back to 1,000. Hell yeah. I have enough upload to upload a small short. God damn it. Good thing I didn't purity. I think I'm just gonna take this. The lowest expectations possible. So do you think Occult gave you some type of optimism or no? Like, is there anything in Occult that you're like, oh, maybe they can do this, maybe they can do that? Or no? The answer is just no for you, Ross. They showed you nothing. They should let you design it. It'll be really fun, honest. Okay. This is like 2004? Yeah. I mean, my cables are probably from like before 2004, so yeah, I think so. The actual physical cables. If anything, it's made me realize stuff that could be in Deep Dungeon. Yeah, well, you hope. Optimism for the internet, we're playing a video game. It's only rage. I have... You know, if the next chest is a rage, I will believe you, Religion. If the very next chest I open is a rage, I am going to believe you. Close, it was a witching. You were close. Job system in DD might be interesting. Not really, you know that's funny. Not really, you know what's funny. That's a run-on sentence. I listened to Mog talk about Fork Tower, and someone said verbatim. Okay, hold on. I had to emphasize the verbatim. What I've said before, summarize. All we want in the game is stuff they have already done. We aren't asking them to reinvent the wheel. Just put stuff we like in here. So was that a comment that was positive about Fork Tower, or saying that because that is what they desire? What was the context of them saying that? Negative. Okay, got it. Really? What is the exit poll on Fork Tower? I have no idea. I just know that it was cleared recently. That's about it. They liked Fort Tower, but they didn't do things they haven't. They didn't do things they've done well in the past, so it suffered. So like, interesting. So like, what was it? Just not difficult? Yeah. Okay. So you can't exit. Okay. I mean, that's still a way to put it. Okay. Fort Tower sounds like the. You know what it made me think of constantly? If anyone played Honkai Star Rail, it made me think of that one character. What's his name? Boot something? The guy who couldn't curse and he kept saying words. That's what it kept making me think of. Forkin' hell. The difficulty was appropriate and well received. But it wasn't fun enough, is basically was the gist of what I'm understanding. It could have been more fun, but they didn't make it more fun. But everything surrounding it wasn't. So the Fort Tower content in itself was fine. Just everything to like get into it, what's required, and all that is bad, is what you're telling me. Is that what I'm to assume? Is that what I'm to extrapolate? Why can't I line of sight you? What's wrong with me? Got it. Okay, I understand. So what you're saying is... What you're saying is, when Deep Dungeon 4 comes out, Deep Dungeon in itself will be fantastic, except every time we need to enter Deep Dungeon, we need to craft something. Because that's our only way to get in. We need to craft a key with an expert recipe just to be able to do the content. Because it's a dumb way to get in the content. The systems of OT are a little barren. Ah, okay, I gotcha. So like, okay, let me take that back then. It's like the whole idea of the phantom jobs is what they were kind of being weird about. Does anyone know? Do we have to clear the raid to progress to the next area later? I think you want to use history for that. And I think history says... Yes? I don't remember for Bozja. Like, was Bozja you had to clear Delurium? Not Delurium. Whatever the hell that was in Southern Front. But kind of boring compared to Bozja. Gotcha. You finished the quest line without entering the tower. Ah, okay, there you go. They do DR, but not DR. Well, yeah, not Savage, but like the other one. Do you think that the current status of the Phantom jobs is a good taste of things to come? Or do you think that there's more negativity on whatever they're releasing in the future, based on what has already been shown? Like, if you were to take this as a beta, is it a good beta, or is it a bad beta? We say in the quest that the tower is more of a curiosity than a need. In Eureka, BA was the very end, so it was kind of just there. Yeah, BA was definitely not required. I mean, yeah, so that was something. A good beta. Okay. Alright. Says a lot. Kind of bad that this is what we have for 1 year. What do you mean? Ross, what do you mean? What are you telling me? Are you telling me 14 does not have good replayability? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I can't believe you would say that. I feel like people thought Eureka was a beta for things. No. You guys need to think further back. Diadem 1.0 was the beta to Eureka. And then, actually, maybe you can even argue that Diadem 1.0 was alpha to Eureka's beta into Bozja. This is weird, because it's already available this early, but we have nothing easier to directly queue in, like CL Del Radia. Yeah, and I guess Fork Tower is kind of that, right? But it's not easy to queue into it. Do you think people do you think people will convert over to chains more than Cs? Because I think I'm starting to see with one of my buddies that now it's like they're skipping CEs because they're target farming. Like they want a certain job to unlock, so they're only going to go for a certain CE as opposed to doing them all. And in the meantime, they're running chains. It's more like BA. Yeah. Depends on what resource you need. You'll probably always do Cs for silver. Gotcha. Silver pieces you need a lot. Cs are for silver, chain is for gold coins, so it depends on what you need. Okay, I got... Oh, I see. That's a good thing, right? That each of them kind of ask you for... require something different, so you can't accomplish one that'll cover everything. Silver's far greater demand than gold. Gotcha. You still drop notes people need. It encourages the content to stay alive more for people joining late. Like me, when I join it late, when I have to get ready for the possible duels in the future, right? All I can say is I just got Necromancer, now I need the Bunny Blessed title, which is gonna take... what's the Bunny Blessed title, Josh Sharrows? And good to see you, man. Or how do you attain that? Because as of now, there's one C that is required for story progression. As far as I know, it can't be completed solo. Gotcha. Okay, I'll get the steal. No, make it! Don't kick me out! I got as low as 411. You can get fortune carrots from normal chests, find a specific spot, partially eaten carrot, and use your own fortune carrot. It summons a bunny. Ah. Nailed it. And bunny butts, you need a lot of those, gotcha. 1,000! That's a lot. I guess that'll keep people in the content for sure. That's what you need. You need an old-fashioned grind. Come on, man. It's an MMO. You need a grind in an MMO. You don't want to be done in 2 days. That's like the standard MMO experience. A grind. Keep people in the content. Outside of making them keep their housing, which I guess I should go back to my house at some point. I keep forgetting. There's a Minotaur somewhere. They are really rare. I've gotten one carrot drop in 1 week, so that could be a little decade. I mean, not with that attitude. Maybe you get more. You can buy, sell the fortune carrots on MB even though that they're that expensive. So you can pay your way to the top. Pay to win. Also, the matter of finding the eaten carrot spots in the instance. Gotcha. Strength. Oh yeah, she's in there. Bad at billing Gil. They're about one point. Oh, damn it! It did reset. I hate everything. Almost made it. They're about 1.5 million. Gotcha. Are we back? I mean, it says we're back. I have to turn off the ads again. Well, actually, it's fine, because I can turn off the ads regardless. Let me just turn off the ads now. We're not playing ads for the rest of the stream. Okay. So what's it, 2 disconnects today? From the connection thing I'm having? Maybe tomorrow's manageable. I am recording, it's not a big deal. Refresh. Oops. Refresh if needed. Okay, here we go. What? Oh wait, that's steel, right? Okay, take the steel. Where's my pin post? It is struggling, bro. I have my obs set to stream at 6,500 kbs. I haven't seen above 5k this whole stream. Didn't sign up for this, but it's fine. Tell the squirrels to leave the nodes alone. Well, they probably listen to me more than the freaking ISP at this point, if it even is them. Just my current the thing that I'm perplexed about is why is it consistently bad? Like clearly it's bad. I don't think it's been a while since I've seen that. I can't even remember the last time I saw that happen. If I hit his for the arm's length, it should be too busy casting scampers to chew the cables. You know what? If the ISP tells me it's squirrels, I'd actually believe him. I can't actually target the Basilisk. When I tab target, it doesn't give me the... It's like hidden definitely behind a wall. Now I can, because it moved. I'm gonna open the exit. I know it. I feel it in my bones. Yep. I always aggro something when the exit's about to open. I got to kill Miss Alcan friends. You get to kill. Oh, you're gonna DBD kill her tonight? Hell yeah, brother. Nice. Are you gonna treat them okay? Are you gonna just obliterate them? What's the game plan? Are you gonna go for a speed run? Submit to GDQ? Hit both. Extra points. Things I don't need for 200. Extra points. What floor are we on? 727? Yep. But they have a lot more experience now? Oh, because you taught them very well. So, no surprise there. Strength. Not the exit. I'll just focus in on the getting to the exit here. I don't know about the very part, but I'll try. That's all you need to do, man. That's all that matters. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Ow. Okay, let me pick up the strength and then go to the exit. Perfect amount. Banana. One side enemy on the exits. Can I go around you? With a possible hitting on the trap on the left side? Am I lazy? I mean, I'm pretty lazy. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well. I really like the mobility of Dragoon in general. I mean, it is a very mobile class in here, but just it feels really fun in terms of how you can do the movement and all the abilities and such. I like it. I like its current version a lot. Join the fun. You too, join the fun. I didn't check this chest, I think. Intuition. Coming close to my favorite boss in all of Deep Dungeon. By that, I mean my least favorite boss in Deep Dungeon, 130. I do not like 130. Hopefully I still have strength left over. Let me do an Affluence to see if we can push one out. Whoops. Yellow key. Okay, let's go. Switching. There is a chest here. I should have checked the chest first and done it. Okay, fine. Bitrate is at 592. It is struggling. It is not above 1,000 right now, so... certainly having a day right now. Serenity? Don't need it. Okay, let's see if I can get lucky and get the strength and steel that I'm looking for. Otherwise, I probably just steal. Don't aggro. God damn it. Where was the chest anyway? On the other side? $234. Oh boy. I might do what I did. There was a point in time when my bitrate was going really haywire, and I actually put a oh, there's the strength. I put a window capture on my bitrate. I might do that again, so you guys can see how my bitrate looks in real time. Maybe for tomorrow's stream until I get this thing fixed. Okay, now do I get the steal? Because I do want to steal on this boss. Not the raising. I'll take the raising. Okay, let's go. Steel. Hello? Oh, my food's off. Okay, we'll fix the food later. No, don't go to 0. Okay. It is like super struggle busting at the moment. I believe in you, Bitrate, you can do it. And then make it through. Like, dude, it is not above 1k. It's crazy. Damn it.